Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2024 Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers. We're here at Motorsport Park Hastings in Hastings, Nebraska for the opening doubleheader weekend. My name is Zach Heron. I'm extremely excited to be covering the action this year alongside accomplished BRL racer himself, Tony Tucker. You're on the men, but we're excited to have you in the booth this year. How you doing?
I'm great. I'm excited to be in the booth, be out here at the races. Upset I'm not on the grid this weekend, but it'll be all right. Round number one, the teams have really stepped up their game. Some new teams, some existing teams really want to hold that championship at the end of the season. Round number one, let's see what's going to happen.
Anything can happen for sure. Lots of new going on. A brand new location for BRL here in Nebraska. Some new classes as well. We've got some metric classes going to be dicing it up with us this year as well. And of course, we've got some new faces. We've got an international pool out here, some Spaniards, some Australians, and even some Canadians coming to dice it up right here in the US of A.
Yeah, the international flair is just really exciting, and it's just unique to the BRL, and it's awesome to see. Another new class we have this year is the Super Street class. It's the class for the everyday rider. You get your bike out here and get on the track and chalk it up on the racetrack. It's an entry-level class. It's really full this weekend, and I'm excited to see how it goes. Round number one here in Nebraska.
Absolutely. Not only is Super Street brand new, but they're going to be kicking off the race weekend for us. We're going to get a quick word from our sponsors, and we'll get the green flag waving right here from BRL. Hello, everybody, and welcome to beautiful Hastings, Nebraska for the opening round of the 2024 Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers. It is day one of two of the racing action out here in Nebraska. My name is Zach Heron, and I'm alongside Tony Tucker here in the Tucker Speed Shop booth. Tony, I think we've got a great day of racing ahead of us.
Yeah, I'm really excited. We got our first class out on the track right now, getting ready to grid the Super Street class, so it's going to be an exciting day, ready to kick off round one.
Absolutely. Now, this Super Street class is a brand new class to bagger racing. Why don't you give the viewers at home, as well as myself, a little more information about exactly what we've got in store for the first race?
Yeah, the Super Street class is new this year. It is, a class that we wanted to add for the everyday rider to be able to get into racing, make it more attainable for guys who are maybe riding their bikes to work on the weekdays, and then they can race it on the weekends. So the class is very limited on what you can modify on the bike. And it makes it more attainable for everybody to get out there and race and get some laps out on the track. So looks like they're all ready to grid. Let's do a quick rundown of our grid.
Let's take a look at who we've got in this Barnett Cables and Clutches Super Street class. It looks like it was Chris Rivas grabbing the pole position on the 244, the 27 of Sean Hoffman in second, with Carl Schlacht, our very own, in the third place spot. I believe this is his first race for the BRL crew on the number 8. Then it's going to be the 101 of Joe Sanderson, the 19 of Philip Doty, and Jake Masters on the 51 machine. Something to note there, Jake, looks like, I'm not sure if he had any issues, what was going on, but we did not see him in the qualifier earlier today, so he's going to be starting from the back of the pack.
Yeah, I do believe they might have had a mechanical when they went out for qualifying this morning, but Jake was probably looking as the top dog yesterday in practice, but unfortunately, not everything goes as planned in racing, so starting from the back row, hopefully he can make some moves out on the green flag and try and battle and get up front.
Well, here we go. There it is. The green flag's down, and they are headed into turn number 1. We have officially kicked the 2024 Bagger Racing League season off, and let's see who is going to be leading them out into turn number 1. Looks like that's going to be the number 8 of Carl Schlacht grabbing the early lead.
Oh, wow. Jake Masters from the last grid position already fighting for the number 1 spot going around turn 2 as they head into the backstretch. This is the high-speed section heading into turn 3. This is a really tricky section. It's fast, but it can be deceiving. That corner really tightens up.
Absolutely, yeah. Turn 3 is probably the fastest turn on the entire course. 2.15 miles this entire Motorsports Park Hastings track as they get ready to head off into turn 4. And then look at that, Masters already starting to put a little bit of distance between himself and the rest of the field.
Yeah, it looks like Carl Schlacht slipped down to 3rd place, trying to pick up who's in 2nd there. Looks like it might be Sean Hoffman running in 2nd place there.
So Hoffman trying to make the move around for 2nd. They head through, believe that was turn 7. Actually a little bit of an off-camera turn. We got a first-hand look at the track yesterday. I got the insider scoop from some of the track personnel. And while it may seem simple on screen, there's a lot of deception out on this track. A lot of opportunities for mistakes and a lot of opportunities for passes.
Yeah, I mean, the camera really doesn't do it justice. What you don't see out there is some of the off-camberness to some of the corners, some of the late apexes, and really you got to be patient on some of these corners. And it can be deceiving, and it takes a little bit of patience out there. So we got the number 8, Carl Schlacht, being chased down by Sean Hoffman. That's a battle for 3rd place. I do believe it's Chris Rivas on the 244, currently in 2nd place.
So look at this battle on our hands as we check back in with our leader, Masters, trying to master this super street class right now. And we mentioned at the start of the show, one of our international riders coming all the way from Australia.
Yeah, Jake, a very accomplished rider. This is his first season on a bagger. He's been racing with the Suburban Motors Harley-Davidson team for a couple of years, but he's been racing in the lightweight class previously on a XR 1200. This year made the jump to the Super Street class and looking to already put his name on the top of the leaderboard.
Absolutely. So you see at the top of the field, Barnett Clutches and Cables, Super Street Bagger class, the brand new class, and obviously looking a good showing so far here to start things off. And we talked about that battle between Carl and Sean for the 3rd place spot. Looks like things are tightening back up as they head into turn 4.
Yeah, this looks like the best battle on track right now for 3rd place in that final podium position. I think Carl, being an accomplished supercross, motocross rider, he's used to podium finishes, and he wants that 3rd place real bad.
Now, as they make their way through the 5 and 6, that was one of those double apex corners. Riders really having to kind of check up just a little bit, and we talked about it a little bit yesterday. This is kind of one of these racetracks where you got to be patient. You can push the envelope as much as you want, but sometimes, you got to go slow to go fast out here.
Yeah, there's a couple of corners that you really got to be patient. Turn 11 and turn 13 are really deceiving, and you really want to turn in early, but you really just got to be patient, hang out there wide, and then turn in. Here's turn 13.
We saw a perfect entry there. Didn't get to follow him all the way through as we check back in for this battle for 3rd place.
Yeah, you'll notice they're going to head into turn 13 here, and this is the one that you really want to stay wide for a long time. You see that corner that cone that he's passing through right there. That's where you want to apex, and it's a long ways around that corner. Trust me, when you're in that corner, it feels like eternity to turn in.
So riders making their way back down the front straight, and it looks like Sean Hoffman starting to stretch things out just a little bit for that final podium spot as we check back in at the front of the field with Jake Masters. Looking solid right now. It'd be hard to tell this is his first season, full season racing the Bagger Racing League. as he has been looking sharp all day, even yesterday in practice.
Yeah, Jake is no stranger to motorcycling. He's a freestyle motocross rider. He's a stunt rider. Like we said, he's from Australia. He's got a lot of time on two wheels, and a lot of that discipline from whether it's stunt riding or motocross translates over. I mean, once you're a racer, no matter what it is you're riding, you can usually pick up on it pretty quick, as Jake's showing us.
And you talk about just the past experience. That kind of seems to be the tale for all of these riders. They've got different backgrounds from various forms of riding, whether it's street-specific, some motocross and supercross riders as well. But all in all, a lot of these riders adapting and translating over to the Bagger Racing League because they've seen the excitement, they've heard about it, now they want to be a part of the action.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. The one thing I want to touch on is just how exciting Bagger Racing is, sweeping across the country and even across international lines now. And it's exciting, and all these guys, Carl Schlock, a professional supercross, motocross rider, Jake, stunt rider, freestyle motocross. Chris Rivas is an AHDRA champ, an NHRA champ. He's got land speed records out at Bonneville, but they all have been attracted to Bagger Racing League and want to come out here and try it out.
Yeah, we can't stress it enough, guys. You have got to go on BaggerRacingLeague.com, find out what Bagger event is coming closest to you, and get out here in person. Don't get me wrong, the coverage is great. We're excited to have you guys all joining us live, watching the action, but to be here in person, to see it, to hear it, to smell it, it's a whole different ballgame. You got to get out to a Bagger Racing League event.
Most definitely. The feels are what it's all about. It's beautiful on TV with this drone footage. But, man, when you stand on that front stretch and you hear these Harleys rumble by down the front stretch, there's nothing like it. And
that's coming from a guy who knows a thing or two about a thing or two, yourself, a previous podium positions. And we know you're on the mend from an injury, but nonetheless, talk about firsthand experience. You know exactly what it's like to be out there doing battle.
Man, it's an adrenaline rush out there. I mean, some of the stuff these guys are doing on these baggers, they've shed a lot of weight off these bikes, but they're still big, heavy motorcycles, and the things that are doing on them, it's really amazing, and there's nothing like it around in the racing world.
Saw Masters getting a little bit of shake as he makes his way. I mean, he's really continuing to pull away. Impressive performance right now as he heads off into one of the tighter corners. And you talk about how heavy these machines are. They've been shedding weight off of it, but nonetheless, most of these over 600 pounds. And when a 600-pound machine kicks you one way or another, it's very difficult to get stopped and get recovered before the end of that straight.
Most definitely. It's not a super bike. It's not a motocross bike where, if it gets out of shape, you can really try and muscle it back around. When these bikes want to go a certain direction, it's really hard to try and redirect 600 pounds of motorcycle.
And as we see, that's a textbook pass through turn 13 as your leader makes his way back across the line. Jake Masters handling business here in this opening race. The Barnett Cables and Clutches Super Street Bagger class heads off into turn number 1. Turn to 1 we've seen some chaos out of as well.
We did. We saw a few bikes off into the grass in turn 1 yesterday in practice in the mock race last night. And it's always tricky, I'll tell you. You at the end of a straightaway, a lot of people always ask me, what's the scariest part? And it's not the 120, 130, 140 miles per hour. It's the turn at the end of that. And, going across that start-finish line, that long straightaway, and then getting slowed down enough to make that first turn, that's the most difficult part. And you could definitely be out in the grass if you're not, really on those braking points.
Absolutely. You talk about braking, getting these machines stopped as well. It's got to be a whole different ballgame as far as you guys are doing a lot of aftermarket searching, looking for different parts, different things, because like we said, most of these machines, they've never been raced really before. It's one thing to go for a casual ride down the street, through the canyon, something like that, but as far as full racing potential, going as hard as you can on the throttle and then getting as hard as you can on the brakes, kind of a whole new ball game for the bagger racing world.
For sure, and performance brakes from the evolution of bagger racing has gone to crazy levels. But like you said, I mean, the average weekend rider is not using his brakes like they are on a racetrack, and it's been really cool to see the evolution of the braking, brake calipers, brake discs, and all the braking systems in these motorcycles to really get these bikes slowed down in time.
So we see Masters making his way through turn 13 once again as he heads across the start-finish line. And something you probably can't see, especially on this drone shot, there's some pretty serious crosswinds going through here. We've had winds blowing in all different directions. Talk about how scary that's got to be, especially when you're running about $120 heading into the corner.
Yeah, that is really scary. and they sneak up on you, because the last thing you're thinking about out there on the track is wind. And the thing about wind is it might be going with you across the straight, and then you make a turn, and all of a sudden it's coming across you, and it'll catch you off guard, and you're hyper focused on your line, on throttle, on brakes, and then all of a sudden something throws you off, the wind gusts, and pushes you offline, and it can be really scary. So you got to keep it in the back of your mind, but you got to focus on your line, on throttle response, on braking points. So the wind can be a big distraction out here.
Got to think Masters is in a good spot right now. Doesn't have any immediate pressure behind him, so not having to worry about pushing the envelope coming into some of these corners. Really seems like he's able to hit his marks. And like you said, in a lot of these corners, you see that neon yellow cone kind of gives you an idea as to the perfect apex point, when to roll back on that throttle, and how to hit those corners perfectly.
Yeah, the cones are there for reference points, and they may or may not be in the perfect place. You might find that it works better for you to apex before or after it, but at least it's there to give you a consistent, point to look at. Usually they're pretty close to the perfect apex, but, every rider is going to have his own style and might find it might be better to stay wide earlier or later, just depending on their riding style.
So your leader getting ready to check off another lap here in the Super Street class. And look at that. Looks like the white flag going to be waving. So one lap to go for Jake Masters here in the Barnett Clutches Super Street class. He's got one more to go. And looking good so far. Like we said, doesn't have any pressure right behind him. So just got to keep it rubber side down for one more trip around this beautiful Motorsports Park Hastings. A great spot. And talk about people that are just excited to have us as we are to be out here.
Yeah, the whole crew and team from MPH has been awesome to work with. They've been a great host. Their facility here and their racetrack is top-notch. The racers are all loving the race surface and the racetrack, and it's exciting to have them be part of the BRL team.
Now, you may think MPH stands for Motorsports Park Hastings, but we heard it yesterday. It stands for making people happy, and that's exactly what they've been doing this weekend.
They've been doing that very well.
Looks like your leader making his way through a little bit of lap traffic, going to put the 101 of Joe Sanderson down a lap here on this final lap, and just shows the range as far as you talk about this being a class that kind of anybody can join us if you've got the bike within the right parameters. And so maybe Joe picking up some notes, taking some notes from the leader right there. So okay, that's how that's supposed to be done. And be excited to see as the series goes on. Hopefully more and more riders come out and give this a shot, because it is a ton of fun, and it's something that truly anybody, you can ride your bike to the race and race that same machine.
Yeah, and that's the thing I really want to touch on with the Super Street class is it's a class for the everyday rider. If you're sitting here watching this right now on YouTube and you want to get out there and race, this is the class for you. With minor modifications, your motorcycle could be race ready. You could be out there gritting it up with these guys right next to Jake Masters, who's looking like he's got this bout wrapped up as he is looking at the checkered flag.
And there it is. Jake Masters going to bring the first checkers down of the 2024 season and grab the win in the Barnett Clutches Super Street Bagger class. Going to wait to see. It looks like it was Chris Rivas in the second place spot with Sean Hoffman holding down the final podium spot. We'll wait to see whether anything changes when they come across the line. Carl Schlachter grabbing fourth, and Philip Doty rounding out your top five. And you can see he's pumped up. It's a good feeling to be out here. He's been battling it out. It's a lot of work to get ready for this as well. Obviously, a lot of testing, a lot of tuning, and it pays off when you grab a win.
Yeah, I'm sure Jake is really excited. He's traveled from Australia to be here this weekend and race with the Suburban Motors Harley-Davidson team. So I'm sure he's extremely excited underneath that helmet.
And so it looks like we're going to do a quick little race replay and let you know exactly how things unfolded. So it was impressive quick moves there from Masters. In those first couple of corners, he was able to make his way through 5 to 6 riders and battle it up with the number 8 for that number 1 spot. And as they leave the left turn 2, that was pretty much all she wrote for the number 1 spot.
Yeah, the number 51, Jake Masters, he checked out there. Before turn 3, he had taken the lead, and he had set his sights on the checkered flag really early.
And Carl Schlack there doing a great job on the number 8. He held that final podium spot for just a little bit as Chris Rivas slides into the second place spot. And then it was Carl and Sean Hoffman doing battle for the final podium spot. I believe Hoffman was able to grab that away from him. And there you see the number 51 textbook technique, late braking, waiting Like we said, turns 11 and 13 going to be the ones to watch, and there it is, the first checkered flag of the 2024 Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers season, going to the number 51 of Jake Masters. So that is going to do it for the first race of the day. Here are those final overall spots as far as the finish goes. So it is Jake Masters, Chris Rivas, and Sean Hoffman, your podium finishers, with Carl Schlacht and Philip Doty rounding out your top 5. Joe Sanderson, Tony Salima, Eric Reyes. Didn't get to read those last couple of names, but some great finishes there for those riders. Going to do a quick sweep before we get ready for our next race coming up. And going to give you guys an opportunity to check out this track. So Motorsport Park Hastings, it's 2.15 miles. You've got 13 different corners on track. And like we said, pay attention to turns 11 and 13. Those are make or break turns. Turn 2, it's going to be the widest and highest banked turn on your track as well, with turn 3 being that fastest corner right in the bottom of your screen. We talked about turn 7 as well, Tony. That's going to be the off-camber, one of those ones that can catch some of the riders off guard.
Yeah, turn 7 does have quite a bit of off-camber, which is deceiving for the racers, because when you come into it, you can't really see it until you're in it, so you really got to memorize that corner and your points, because you could get offline really fast.
Well, it's one thing to talk about it. How about an onboard view of exactly what it's like to be out there, getting some first-hand footage as to what it's like to spin a lap around Motorsports Park Hastings. And as you can see, it's a good time, but it is some high-speed sections out there. As fast as that guy was going, it's hard to imagine still getting past.
For sure. You know, and there's some really fast riders out here this weekend, but that gives you a glimpse into what it feels like to be in the seat of one of these Bagger Racing League motorcycles, and it's an exhilarating feeling. Well,
we've talked about the racers. Let's talk about some of the fantastic sponsors that help put on this 2024 Bagger Racing League season.
Across the country, and we're sitting here with Jill Geyer, one of those sponsors right here. She's with Nebraska 811, and a lot of people don't know, around the country, each state has their own 811. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what it is, what you guys doing, and what you're doing out here at Bagger Racer League?
All right. Yeah, we are the representatives for Nebraska 811. 811 is all about safe digging, and you have to call before you dig so you don't damage the underground utilities. So we thought this would be the perfect crowd to talk about that, because these guys are doing digging for a living. And on top of that, we just wanted to support Bagger Racing League and Underground Team Racing.
Absolutely. Now, it's the first round of the 2024 season. Like you said, you guys are not only supporting the series itself, but Underground Team Racing as well. How excited are for you to be out here for round 1 of Bagger Racing?
We are super excited. It's our first time out here supporting, becoming a sponsor for Underground Team Racing. So we're excited to see all the racing and just meet the people and teach people about 811 and how to dig safely.
Absolutely. Now, for everybody here in person, you guys have got an awesome booth set up. What do you have available this weekend, and what can they be on the lookout for?
Okay, well, yeah, we've got lots of giveaway stuff, really cool gloves and kids stuff, tattoos, all kinds of stuff. We just want to have a good time, and we're going to give away a Yeti cooler. Anybody can come in and get a free raffle ticket and potentially win a free cooler. So, yeah, just out here to have a good time.
Awesome stuff, guys. Well, that's Jill Geyer with Nebraska 811. She's hanging out here at Bagger Racing League. And remember, call 811.
So great stuff coming from the Nebraska 811 crew, and that's no joke, guys. Make sure it's a state law. You've got to call. Each and every state has got their own 811 representatives, and like Jill was talking about, not only is she going to be joining the Bagger Racing League sponsor list, but she is a proud sponsor of the very own team. We were able to catch up with Underground Team Racing a little bit earlier this weekend.
Seen Art, you guys have been out doing a little bit of practice today. What are your thoughts about being out here at Hastings in the Bagger Racing League so far?
Great time, track's in great condition, great group of people. We've met a lot of new friends. Super excited to be part of it.
Absolutely. Now, you're not just out here yourself. You got your whole team back here with you. As far as the team goes, what's the expectations? What are you guys thinking coming into the season?
Everything's going well this season. Everybody's putting down some good times today, so having a good time. That's what it's all about this weekend.
Absolutely, for sure. Now, you guys have a unique sponsor with you, the 811. Why don't you tell everybody at home about it? It's something that a lot of people around the country have seen before, but maybe don't exactly know what it's all about.
Background real quick. Underground Team Racing, we started back in 2018. The reason we started is I actually work for Kansas 811, and I realized during the week when I was talking to excavators and people in the community digging and things like that, I figured out the same guys that were in my classes, guess where they were at? The racetrack on the weekend. So I thought, why not just promote the safety out there in the field on the weekend as well? So we got very fortunate. We got some great sponsors. Some of the state one calls. Every state in the country has an 811 service. All you have to do is dial 811. It ring into the call center before you dig. So we really want to promote safety in the field. Call before you dig, safe excavation, so you can go home at night, and that way you can go to the racetrack on the weekend.
There you go, guys. It's that simple. Call 811 before you dig, and look out for Team Underground Racing out here at Hastings.
So great stuff there from Arch and the entire Underground Team Racing crew as we get ready for the lightweight superbike class, which is brought to you by Nebraska 811. Like we said, guys, whether you're clearing a whole building site to build the next skyscraper or whether you're digging a hole in your backyard, call 811 because the last thing you want to do is stumble upon those colorful roots. All right, I say it like I've done it before, but we've got the lightweight superbike coming up next. We've got Joel Ott, Scott Short. Looks like Brett Folkerts is out there as well. Chris Hazemeyer, Arch York, and James Plume all getting ready to take to the Motorsport Park Hastings track as we've got them gridded up. What are you expecting out of this class? As we can see, some different style bikes and different sizes bikes as well, and that's another part of the BRL that's unique. You get some different bikes all within the same classes.
Yeah, all of these superbike classes are new to BRL this season, and the lightweight class that we're watching here, you can see there's a couple of different motorcycles on the grid right now. We got some 400cc, sport bike equipped with fairings on the front row, and then that second row there, you can see those are what look like a motocross bike. They're supermoto setup, so it'll be really interesting to see. Those supermoto bikes are 450cc motors. Most of the lightweight super bikes are 400, 450 cc's. So really it's like fairing against non-fairing. So we'll see how it chalks up here into turn 2 already.
And it looks like it is the number 31 of Brett Folkerts leading the way. He was your fastest qualifier earlier today out of the lightweight superbike class. And it looks like he's got the 6'11 of Tommy Ryan hot in behind him. And you see these guys staying a little bit closer coming out of the first 3 corners there, all kind of funneling into the same line.
Yeah, it looks like we got Arch York in the 3rd place position. I can't imagine trying to navigate this track on a supermoto bike. It's really impressive and cool to see.
Yeah, that's kind of been what I've heard from everybody this weekend. We saw them at first, and they're like, "Yeah, I don't really know how these supermoto guys are going to handle this." And wow, not only can they handle it, they can be competitive out here as well.
Yeah, it's an exciting class. I like the mix-up of motorcycles out there and see how they compete against each other. You see a good battle back there for 3rd place between Arch York and. Pick up a number on that bike. But yeah, I would love to see one of these supermoto bikes chalk it up and get on the podium in this lightweight class.
Would be impressive to see for sure, as your leader already looking to try to put a couple of bike lanes between himself and the rest of the field. Brett Folkerts, believe he is one of the locals that is a part of. So he's a seasoned motorcycle racer, and he has been around. This is his home circuit, so he's probably spent many a laps around this. And I'm sure you know this as much as anybody. Having kind of the home track advantage, knowing the right points to hit. We talk about turn 11 and 13, just how important those are. Knowing exactly how deep you need to go before you make that turn, when to get back on the throttle. It's paying off for him right now.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Having experience and the more laps you have on a track is a huge advantage. It's one thing to memorize braking points and entry points, but each track has its own personality, and little spots in the track, the more you put in time and spin laps to find these spots, and the more you can memorize and hit these spots, the faster you're going to be. So home track advantage is a very big thing.
It looked like we had quite the battle going on for a second. Look at it. These guys wheel to wheel as they head off into turn number 4. Still waiting to get a number on that blue machine. Hopefully have that here in a second, because he's been making moves and he's trying to make his way in the 2nd place spot.
Yeah, that's a great battle for 2nd and 3rd right now. Looks like he's looking to make a move here. Maybe trying to go underneath here. Oh, he checked up.
Not quite close enough. Slams the door. The number 6'11 right now, holding tough. Tommy Ryan does not want to give that 2nd place spot up. And look at that. Looks like one of the supermoto bikes trying to get up into the mix as well.
Yeah, as they battle for 2nd and 3rd, what they're doing is really kind of essentially slowing themselves down and letting 4th place kind of creep up on them. So this is going to be a 3-way battle for 2nd place here.
So you can see your leader up front headed into turn 13. This is the battle on track right now. as it's starting to become a four-rider battle as well. It's that 6'11" holding down the second place spot right now. Let's see. Talk about being under pressure. That's when it's hard to remember some of these turns with a little deeper apex. Looks like that might be...
It's the 151 of Scott Short there in third place right now. So we got the 3 lightweight superbike class bikes out front and being chased by a supermoto. That is the 917 of Joel Ott.
So Ott trying to get into the mix as well. You can see in those first couple of corners the superbike's really able to split away. You can see funneling in right there. Scott, he's surgical. He's trying to figure out exactly where to make that pass. It looks like after that first double apex out of 5 and 6, he was trying to slice it up the inside. Let's see if he tries to make that move again.
Yeah, it looks like Scott's really good in this technical area and really creeps up on him, and then he gets pulled on a little bit when they open it up on the straightaways on the second half of the track. So he's looking to make a move. He's got wide, trying to dive underneath here again. Let's see if he can make it happen this lap. Oh, he checks up again.
Just not quite close enough, and some solid defensive riding from Tommy Ryan in second right now as well. Cuts over and closes the door off.
The problem is that he's entering that line, and he's really shallow in that corner, so he really has to slow down to make the corner, and it just allows him to maintain the speed and not let him make that pass.
And we talk about feeling the flow out here as it looks like Short going to try to take the long way around. He sets up perfectly for turn 12. Wow, look at that textbook pass.
That was beautiful. He set it up, the corner before. That was really good racecraft there. He knew exactly where he needed to be, 3 corners ahead, and made it happen.
And that's what I was just about to say. You talk about setting stuff up. These riders are setting it up sometimes 2 to 3 corners ahead, maybe checking up just a little bit, going wide in the first turn so that it pays off 2 turns later. Scott making a perfect example of that right there.
Yeah, and that's part of this, and that's the other advantage of knowing the track is knowing, 2 corners ahead. That, if I'm in this position now in 3 corners, I'm going to be on the inside and have him and be able to make that pass. So that was textbook racing right there.
So taking a look now, it looks like that is actually the 913 of Arch York on that Supermoto machine, who we just caught up with a few minutes ago in that 811 interview. So if you're calling before you dig right now, you're going to have to hang on because Arch is trying to make a pass as he heads into turn 4.
He's got that KTM Supermoto on the gas. He makes the pass. Can he hold it? Looks like he does.
Wow, an impressive move from York. Now tries to set his sights on Scott Short and take over the second place spot. You said you wanted to see him up on the podium. Well, right now he's hanging on to that final spot.
Yeah, we'll see if Arch can hang on to it. He's got the 611 of Tommy Ryan chasing him back down. We'll see if Arch can hang on to third. We're about halfway through this race now, and a good battle. Looks like the leader's pretty checked out at this moment. Looks like Brett's up front. All he's got to do is kind of just maintain that gap, and he has this one on lock, but you never know. I mean, the racing's not done until the checkered flag flies. We'll see what happens.
And it looks like the other of our Supermoto bikes is trying to get into the mix as well as he goes wide. Wow.
Oh!
Wow, look at that. Almost contact there as they head into 13. Just able to get it turned before he heads off into the grass.
That's bar-to-bar racing right there. That's rubbing elbows.
Doesn't get much closer than that as Brett Folkers checks in for another lap led with Scott Short and Arch York rounding out the podium as they stand right now. So James Flume trying to get up in the mix and making it hard on him right now.
Yeah, for sure. That was I don't know if I'd call that aggressive, but, just really not giving up the line and making sure you have the line you want and not giving it up. It was hard racing, but good racing. I didn't see anything dirty there.
Absolutely. Both of them able to keep it on course and keep rolling. And doesn't look like James is quite finished yet. Really seems to be strong on these high-speed sections as they head into 4, 5, and 6.
Man, he's looking to creep up there. He's looking for an opportunity to try and make another pass on Tommy Ryan.
So there goes your leader up front. Once again, able to get enough of a gap to where he doesn't have to push too hard in these corners and really becomes easy to just execute and hit your marks.
Yeah, it really kind of relieves some of that pressure because there's nothing worse than having someone ride on your rear tire and you lose your focus. But, yeah, if you can get a little bit of a gap, it's just a matter of maintaining that gap and hitting your marks, and it's a whole lot easier.
So watching James Flume trying to find a way around Tommy Ryan as Arch York has now stretched things out. Your podium kind of evenly spaced, if you will. The battle on track right now is for this 4th place spot as they make their way through 12. Let's see if they give each other another high five as they head into 13. Looks like James going to try to run it deep up the inside.
Yeah, the problem with the running in the inside in 13 is it doesn't set you up for good corner exits. So it was a nice try, but it's just really hard to make a pass right there.
He's hanging tough as they hit one of the faster sections here, headed into turn 1.
Turn 2, the only bowl corner, has quite a bit of banking in it. It's a little hard to see in the TV, but has quite a bit of banking in it. It's a 180 corner. You can really carry a lot of speed through there.
You can see just how close it is as they make their way through the little kink there, headed into turn 3.
This backstretch is the fastest part of the track right here going into turn 4. This is the highest speeds they'll hit. Looks like James going to make the pass going into turn 4. He's got it done clean before the corner, made it easy.
Wow, just left off the brakes and flew right by Tommy Ryan for that 4th place spot. So just like that, James Plume takes over the number 4 spot as they make their way through that double apex corner in 5 and 6.
Looks like Tommy might not be done with him. He's going to try and chase him back down. We'll see if they can rub elbows a little bit more here. It's exciting stuff.
Yeah, good stuff for us here in the booth with this Nebraska Racing lightweight superbike class, or Nebraska 811 lightweight superbike class. And like we said, very excited to have them on board with us this year in 2024. Something that truly does go nationwide, all across the country. As the white flag is out, 1 lap to go for your leader. Brett Folkerts trying to bring it home on the number 31. With Scott Short and Arch York trying to get up on the podium as well. There is your leader. And it's almost a good thing when you're so out front by yourself that the announcers really haven't been talking about you too much, because it's just been smooth sailing at the front of the field.
Yeah, and here's where the nerves set in. It's the last lap. The last thing you want to do is lose it on the last lap. So he just got to stay focused, hit his marks, and bring home the checkered flag.
Now looking at, I believe it's a 7-lap race out here. Are these riders, by the end of the race, do they have any different feel as far as the tire wear or anything like that? I mean, it's not as long as some of the other races that we've seen in different forms of racing, but do they even really feel that much of a difference by the end of the race?
Well, it probably is going to depend on what they started the race with, because, this is an amateur race series, and some of these guys are on budgets. And if they're starting on used tires, then by the end of a 7-lap hardcore race, they could have a little bit of tire fade. They could have some brake fade with, brake heat and all that creeping in. So it definitely could happen. If they're starting with fresh tires, probably not.
Whatever he's got right now seems to be working for him, as he seems velcroed to this Motorsport Park Hastings course, as he's got just a couple of corners left to go before he'll be seeing a checkered flag out here in Nebraska. Heads into the final corner. Follows Tony's advice, gets way deep off in the center of the corner, and that's what he's been waiting on. The checkered flag waves, and Brett Folkert's going to grab the win for the Nebraska 811 lightweight superbike class.
Yeah, congratulations to Brett Folkerts. That was an amazing ride. He hit all of his spots. He did everything right, and it pays off.
Absolutely. Couldn't do it much better than that. He got the fastest qualifier. Look at that, waving to the fans, the crowd. And talk about the fans. Man, they have been rolling in all day long. Everybody from around, not even just Nebraska, but the surrounding states as well, got word about this event, and they're out here to see it in person.
Yeah, the fan turnout's been great. They got a party down in the pits. They got bands. They got food. They got merch. They got a lot of going on down there in the pits. It's been a party. It's been a great time.
As we get ready for our Drag Specialties race recap, this is how things started off, and it was pretty smooth sailing for the number 31. He was able to get that pole position headed into the race, and he made quick work of it. He got out front early, but that was far from all of the action on course, as we had battles all through the podium as well. Scott Short slicing and dicing his way around as he works his way into the second place spot, with Arch York making some moves as well, showing what's up on the Supermoto machines. As we see Scott taking the long way around here in turn 11, sets up absolutely perfectly for turn 12. That's how it's done.
That has to be the pass of the race right there.
That was beautiful. And look at that little bit of bumping and grinding. He just said, "Hey, how you doing, man?" As they head into turn 13. James Plume Not going to be finished after that, though. He said, all right, you got my attention. Now it's time to get serious, as he was able to make his way around for that fourth place spot before the checker flag came out.
Yeah, I love watching the battles out here between the different styles of bikes. I think it's really cool to see the different, the super bikes versus the supermoto bikes. It's fun. It's exciting. I can't get enough of it.
That is what it's all about. That was your Nebraska's 811 lightweight superbike class. So going to take a look at your finishing results here. So it is Brett Folkerts grabbing the win with Scott Short and Arch York going to round out the podium. James Plume and Tommy Ryan, your top 5 as they stand. And you see the rest of your top 10 here for this Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers, that lightweight superbike class in the books here. And like you said, not only is it cool to just see the different kinds of bikes, but they were competitive out there as well. And I think that's really cool to see, is just because you don't have the same kind of bike as somebody doesn't mean you can't get in the mix and battle for a podium. Well, I think we're going to get a word from our sponsors before we get back to racing. This is the opening round of the 2024 Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers.
Performance is a leader in high-performance aftermarket parts for Harley-Davidson motorcycles. World-renowned for industry-first bolt-on turbo systems and cutting-edge motorcycle components, all made right here in the USA. Assault the street and the track with confidence. Performance-minded, performance-driven. Trask.
All right, crew, let's get started.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811. Brought to you by Nebraska 811.
Bridgestone's reintroducing their supermoto tires here in the United States and Canada. That's the BMO1 front and the RO2 rear. It's available in a 16.5 inch as well as a 17-inch configuration. The Racing Battle Axe is a non-DOT tire, and we definitely recommend tire warmer. Time's the only thing in life that money can't buy, but you can buy Bridgestones.
That's my neighbor Joe. Hey, Joe.
Hey, John.
Joe's about to make a big mistake. Hey, Joe, think it might be a good idea to call 811 to have the utilities marked before you start digging?
I'm not digging very deep. It's no big deal.
No big deal.
Dad, the TV's out. Internet too.
Remember, safe digging always starts with a free call to 811. Oh, what a knucklehead.
Brought to you by Nebraska.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Motorsports Park Hastings. Zach Herron and Tony Tucker here inside the Tucker Speed Studio. And Tony, man, it's we're only 2 races down, but it has already been some great battles out on course.
It's been action-packed so far. This next race is a combined class. There's going to be a ton of action going on out here. This one is going to be full of action in every corner.
Now let's talk about it. We're in the Tucker Speed Studio. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Tucker Speed?
Yeah, so we have a performance Harley-Davidson shop in northern Utah. We do a lot of performance work. We build race bikes. We hop up your motor, anything from engine work, suspension work, brakes, anything to make your Harley-Davidson go faster, we can help you out.
So you're telling me not only can you ride it, not only can you talk about it, you can work on it too?
I can do it all.
Look at that, a jack of all trades out here. Well, we're excited to have you in the booth. We talked about it. You're a racer at heart. You're a multi-time podium finisher. Had some injuries, man. How is that going? How's the recovery going right now?
You know, it's been slow. Where I injured my right knee racing some flat track last fall, and you know, the recovery is really like a 1 to 2 year recovery. So I'm taking the opportunity to jump into the booth this year and kind of let my knee heal, and still be involved with the BRL because I love being here, and it's you know, it's exciting to see all this stuff, and so I'm excited to be in the booth, but I really want to get back on the grid.
Absolutely, yeah. We can't wait to be calling you out there on course, but it's so cool to have the first-hand knowledge and experience as far as being able to know what it's like to line up on the grid and to race. Like we said, it's the 4th year of BRL racing, and so honestly, still relatively new in the grand scheme of things. It seems like each and every year we've got new riders, new teams coming out of the woodwork because, like we said, the rumors, the buzz around BRL has just been growing and growing. It's easy to see why.
Yeah, and once you attend a race, or if you watch one, you get the bug. I mean, and it's just infectious. It's an exciting form of racing. There's nothing cooler than taking a motorcycle that really has no business being on a road course track and making it go fast. So, and it's really impressive, and these bikes are really quick. So it looks like they're rolling around, starting to find their grid positions here.
Yeah, this one is going to be exciting. A lot of riders getting ready to go out on course at one time as we are getting an up-close look at the 811 machine of Andrew Berkeley out of that Liquid Twins class. And we talk about, as far as if you could be on this grid, obviously pole position's got to be that, but got to be the goal. But on the inside versus the outside, is there a preference? Is there any kind of advantage to be on one spot versus the other?
Yeah, I think, unlike off-road, where you want the inside line, on-road, you want to be on the outside. So you want to be on the right side of the grid. That gives you the preferred fast line through turn 1, which is a left-hander. And so P1 is on the right side of the track. And, that's going to give you the straightest line through the corner. Looks like we're waiting for a few more to grid. Looks like we're ready for green flag.
And there it is. The green flag is down as we get ready for the DP Brakes Liquid Twins. We've got the American Twins Unlimited. We've got air-cooled Twins and, of course, the next-gen Superbike as well. A lot of bikes going out on course right now.
Yeah, and this is a very mixed class here. So you see out front already is Sam Guerin, the Canadian on the original Garage Moto, running in the American Twins Unlimited class here. He's jumping out to an early lead and looking to just plug in some laps, get a little more practice before he jumps into the Bagger GP race later today.
Absolutely, and look at that.
Oh, he's got a problem.
Oh, wow. I wasn't sure whether he was waving goodbye to everybody or what. So, yeah, looks like some kind of issue there for Guerin. Not the way he wanted to start this race, but like you said, maybe a little bit of kind of better now than later in the day.
Well, Bagger GP is the class that they really want to be running up front in, so if they've got a bike issue, it's better to find it now than in the main race.
So we're going to wait and see. Hopefully Guerin not out of this thing entirely, but definitely seemed like something was going on. Wasn't quite able to see who that rider was that inherited the lead from him.
I believe that was at the 811 of Andrew Berkeley on that KTM Duke 890. The KTM is a new bike, so the Liquid Twins class this year, brought to you by DP Brakes, has been widened. Last year it was Harley-Davidson Pan Americas and Indian FTRs. It's been opened up. The rule book has been opened up a little bit to allow a few new bikes. The KTM Duke is one of them, and it's cool to see it out there and leading the pack around across the finish line for the first time.
Absolutely. So it will be the 811. He takes a look over the shoulder, and he is going to put it in the books as the first lap led of the race. And like you said, we talked about stopping power. DP Brakes, Larry Mills in the house with us this weekend, kind of on the forefront as far as adapting brake technology to help these machines that, like you said, on any given day probably weren't made to be out on a road course, not only be out here but be competitive as well.
Yeah, the fine folks from DP Brakes, they're out here at the racetrack and they're collecting data and they're getting feedback from the racers, and all of that information is being put into their production parts that you can put on your street motorcycle back at home.
Great stuff going on as it looks like James Milroy and Jamie Hansen going to be your top three you see on screen right now. And this race brought to you by DP Brakes as we get a fantastic look from that live drone shot. Really gives you an opportunity to see the ground these guys are covering. I mean, absolutely rolling as they make their way through 5 and 6.
Yeah, these drone shots are amazing. To see them kind of cover the amount of ground. It really kind of shows you the speed and the lean angles that these guys are dealing with here. So I love these drone shots.
Absolutely. As we take a look now, kind of evenly spaced your top three at the moment. So Jamie Hansen looked like for a minute was going to try to make a run on James Milroy, but right now kind of just hanging tough. And like we said, not a long race, but not a short race either. So if he's trying to pick up lines, trying to figure out what he's got to do, he needs to make something happen quick and get up to the rear wheel.
Yeah, you know, when you're out there on the track, 7 laps really clicks off really fast, so you don't have a ton of time to wait. So if you're going to try and make a move or use a couple of laps to find a good spot to make a pass, you got to really be doing that now because you cannot wait too long.
Time of the essence for sure. Got to give a shout out to Catherine Bukowski there sitting in the 4th place spot as well, and Chris Rivas, a name that we've already said here today. So we see another rider back out on course for a second class.
Yeah, Chris Rivas showed up with a couple of different motorcycles. I believe he's out there in the air-cooled twins on his 2004 Buell XB12, a very fast and trackable motorcycle, but getting up there in age now, and he's still keeping it out there on the track.
Absolutely. So going to give you guys a rundown. So Andrew Berkeley is leading the way out of that Liquid Twins class. James Milroy is in the Next Gen Superbike class, leading the way in that, with Jamie Hansen running second in that class as well. Looks like we've got Sam Guerin there now checking into 4th, so it looks like Guerin has gotten something figured out with that machine. He's leading the way in the ATU class, with Catherine Bukowski running in that Next Gen Superbike class, rounding out the podium.
Yeah, this is a mixed class. Trying to keep everybody straight is a little bit tricky, but you can see on the top of the screen there, we got the liquid-cooled twins, the air-cooled twins, Next Gen, and classic superbikes out there. So a very wide range of motorcycles, everything from old, new, American, metric, and everything in between.
Well, you know as well as I do, Tony, they don't care. If there's a bike in front of me, I want to get around it. I don't care what class you're in.
Yeah, once you're on track, they're all the same. I want to pass everybody.
Without a doubt, as we see riders headed into turn 12, and does look like that gap starting to close up. So might be seeing some battle on, and look at that, as he's laying it down on the ground, the 811 taking a look over the shoulder.
He's feeling really comfortable over the 61 and the 911 of Jamie Hansen.
So James Milroy and Jamie Hansen doing battle in that Next Gen Superbike class. Brought to you by Nebraska 811, so jumping on board for another class with us out here. And so while that may be another look back there from the 811 machine, while James and Jamie may be battling for second on course, they are battling for the lead in their class.
For sure. I mean, every position counts out here, and looks like this battle might be starting to heat up a little bit. Jamie Hansen really wants to kind of try and make a move here on James Milroy, see if he can make anything happen through the technical part of this track, through the center.
So they head into turn 4, and Hansen looked like he might have made up a bike length or so down that back stretch, but not really a ton of real estate made up. It's crazy to see some of these riders, they got strong sections and then not so strong sections. And some of them it's the tighter, more technical stuff. Some of them it's just the raw speed where they really able to open the machines up and make up time.
Yeah, and sometimes that's because of the motorcycle you're riding and its strengths or weaknesses, and sometimes it's the strength and weaknesses of the rider. So, you know, that's the beautiful thing about this track is, you know, from about turn 4 to turn 12, it's very technical and very tight and very precise, and then you round across the, you know, turn 13, and it's very wide open, and horsepower is a big key there.
Now let's see. Trying to take the long way around. Jamie Hansen trying to make the pass. He closes it off and looks like, just barely keeps it out of the grass.
That was close.
Ooh. Going to be a fun Insta360 camera. He's got one mounted on that back fender. That one's going to be fun to watch as James Milroy makes the pass around Jamie Hansen to grab second on course and first in that Next Gen Superbike as they stand right now.
Yeah, that was close. He was on the curb, almost grass there. That was a nail biter.
Well, we talked about turn 13, one of those make-or-break corners out here at NPH. Wasn't quite able to do the late apex, but it paid off for him in the end.
Well, a pass is a pass, even if it's not pretty.
Absolutely, as long as it gets the job done, and it certainly did that. And he almost immediately opens the gap back up. So we'll see whether Jamie Hansen is able to set his sights on Andrew Berkeley up in that number 1 spot.
Yeah, we're still showing Sam Guerin in 4th place. I'm not sure if he's still kind of trying to creep up on 2nd and 3rd here. He had a mechanical at the start of the race. Looks like he might have gotten fired back up, but just lost too much time to really get back up and battle with these guys.
Yeah, we'll try to see in maybe one of our wider drone shots whether he's still making his way around. He looks super strong in those first couple of corners, but and some heads-up riding from him as well. Gave the heads up to everybody behind him. Did not want to cause any more issues for anybody else.
Yeah, and that's a scary moment for a racer when you're going down a straightaway and you lose power. And there's nothing worse than knowing that there's 10 bikes behind you at wide open throttle. And it's a very scary feeling, and he did the right thing by getting his hand in the air and getting their attention and avoiding contact there.
So taking a look as the riders make their way across the start-finish line, we'll try to see whether anything changes at that top 5 rundown. Did not look like that was Guerin behind them. If that's who I was looking at was 4th place. We'll have to wait maybe in one of these further out drone shots as your leader starting to get a little bit of company. He spent a lot of time looking behind him. If he checks the rear views now, he's going to see Jamie Hansen trying to come for that number 1 spot.
He has been spending a lot of time looking behind him, and maybe too much. He's let him creep up on him. Maybe he just wants to battle. I don't know, but I don't know if I'd give up that lead, man.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd give him an opportunity to show a wheel because, as you saw, he's willing to use every square inch of this track if he thinks he's able to make a pass on it. So they make their way through 5 and 6, headed into that off-camber here in turn 7. And it is still the 8-11 of Andrew Berkeley leading the way out of that Liquid Twins class on that new KTM. Able to join the class there, and I mean, we talk about BRL welcoming everybody and wanting so many different people to come. They're changing to include more people because they genuinely want to give other people the opportunity to come out and enjoy the racing as well. I've had people talk to me, hey Zach, what is this all about? You go on baggerracingleague.com, they've got all of the class breakdowns, and like we said even earlier in that first race, there are opportunities as we see the white flag coming out for everyday riders to bring their machines out here and get to go racing.
Yeah, really at this point with the evolution of the Bagger Racing League, we've got classes for just about anybody and everybody now, and that's really a great thing. It's just about getting racers out here, putting on a great show, and no matter what it is that you have in your garage, there's probably a class that you fit in out here in the Bagger Racing League.
Well, I tell you what, Jamie Hansen is running out of time. He has got only about 10 turns left to try to make something happen. He's definitely closing the gap up, but I'm not sure if he's going to be close enough. Notice, I don't see Andrew Berkeley looking back anymore.
Yeah, I don't know what Berkeley's up to, man. He's just playing around. He's maybe playing a little cat and mouse. He's just put it in cruise control out there in the number 1 spot, and looks like he's about ready to bring home a checkers.
As they get ready to make their way back into turn 7 for the final time. Still doesn't look to be under enough pressure to where I think he's pushing the envelope or anything like that, but can't help but think he probably knows somebody's back there.
Yeah, for sure. One thing I wanted to just talk about, this next gen superbike class is a really unique class. Most of the motorcycles in that class are 30, 40 years old, some old Kawasaki ZX7s, Rob Olivia out there on 98 Suzuki TL1000, a very cool motorcycle. Catherine Bukowski running out there in 5th on one of my personal favorites, the Honda RC51. Such a cool motorcycle. So I'm just super excited to see these guys out on the track.
Absolutely. So it's not just fun to watch race, it's fun to check out through the pits as well. As we see the checker flag coming down. Andrew Berkeley going to grab the win out of that Liquid Twins class, and it will be Jamie Hansen grabbing the win out of your next gen superbike class. And a nice little show of sportsmanship there, giving each other the thumbs up and waving to the crowd. And that was a fun one to watch right there. I would have loved to have seen another 4 laps or so out of those 2.
For sure, and especially if we find out if Sam Guerin was charging through the pack, another 4 laps could have gotten really exciting.
Absolutely, as we see the 811 doing a little celebratory wheelie out there. Another fun thing that we've got going on later tonight. Going to have a stunt show right here on site. You don't want to miss that. Let's give you a race recap, show you exactly what happened. So there you see Sam Guerin. He had the pole position and looked to be trying to make the most of it as they headed into turn number 1. He was side by side with the 811. He was able to close him off the outside and runs the inside coming into turn number 2. And it looked like he was going to try to grab a gear and disappear as they headed down that back stretch, but unfortunately ran into some issues And these guys were the battle on site for a while. Right there, it was James Milroy who had the position with Jamie Hansen trying to hunt him down. Jamie slowly but surely creeping his way up there, waiting for the right opportunity, and was able to do just that and make his way around to grab second on field and first in that next-gen superbike class.
Yeah, this was an exciting class. A full class of mixed bikes, mixed riders. Makes for really good race action. Exciting time.
As we see your leaders making their way through, it did look like Jamie was going to try to hunt him down with only a couple of laps left to go. As we see, still trying to hunt his way down past James Milroy there in second. This should be the pass, going the long way around. Oh, wait, I still have more turning to do. Is he going to be able to keep it on track? Just barely. I mean, I think he maybe clipped a couple of grays, couple of blades of glass.
Yeah, he was mowing the grass a little there.
Absolutely, but he's able to keep it on and keeps the throttle on and gets the pass done. And started to try to chase down the 811 machine, but wasn't quite able to do it. Still grabbed the win in his class, and the 811 grabbing the win out there. That was a great race. I mean, we talked about how exciting it was going to be having multiple classes out there, and it did not disappoint.
That was fun. Andrew Berkeley, the 811, taking home the DP Brakes Liquid Twins class win.
So giving you a rundown of the finishing order. We've got Andrew Berkeley, Jamie Hansen, James Milroy, Samuel Guerin does come across in fourth with Catherine Bukowski rounding out your top five. Chris Rivas moves up to sixth with Josh Thompson, Jake McGuire, Carl Schlacht, and Oleg Piniak in the top 10.
Yeah, exciting times. Really great racing out there.
Fun stuff for sure as we get ready for our next race to head out on course. Believe that is going to be our Nebraska 811 middleweight superbike class. A lot of big names in this one as well. Not going to want to miss it. And get a little bit of an idea as to what that wind looks like. If you saw the some of the plants blowing around. Looks like riders chatting it up. I believe that is Jeff there with Motorsports Park Hastings, the operations manager. Talk about a guy who's just excited to see some racing and to have us out here. Has been great for both of us, been great with Rob Bitus and all of the fans, the spectators, and everybody else. Truly just wants to have everybody have a good time and embodies that making people happy MPH mentality.
Yeah, they've been a great host, like I said before. The facility here and the racetrack and everything they got going on, they are top notch. You know, you might not think there's much going on out here in Nebraska, but these guys, they've got it figured out and have a beautiful facility here.
Absolutely. Look at the crowd that we have on hand. Like we said, they have been rolling in consistently since about 8 o'clock this morning. We've got motorcycle clubs coming to hang out with us. We've got fans coming from all over, lining the stands because everybody heard about this Bagger Racing League. They're racing these things now? And everybody had to come see it for themselves. And this is just the start of it. Like we said, we had some live music yesterday evening. We've got more in store for tonight. We've got some drifter cross going on. We've got some stunt shows. More live music. They've got a full restaurant you can't see on screen, but they've got a clubhouse that's a fully operational restaurant. And so, I mean, this place has pretty much got it all.
It does. I mean, the BRL does a great job of putting on a full event, race action, bike shows, stunt shows, live music, bars, food, all of it. I mean, and not just a couple hours. This is a 2-day event here, so you could really make a weekend of this and have a good time.
Yeah, that's such a good point to bring up. This is only the start of the doubleheader weekend, and we've got some great stuff in store for tomorrow's action as well. More racing, but then some championship belts for who's going to be coming out of the weekend as far as the points leads go. And this entire 2024 season, we talked about it earlier in the show. Our next round going to be out in Michigan, only about a month away, which you know as well as I do. That goes by in a blink of an eye.
Yeah, especially for these racers. They're going to get back home and try and get their bikes, fixed up, rebuilt, whatever it needs to happen after the race weekend, and that next race will sneak up on them. But yeah, about 4 weeks away from our next round in Michigan.
Well, guys, we are going to get ready to send out the Nebraska 811 middleweight superbike class for their warm-up lap. We're going to get a quick word from our sponsors, and we'll be back to the 2024 Bagger Racing League Battle of the Baggers, brought to you by Drag Specialties. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Drag Specialties Battle of the Bagger, a Bagger Racing League event. Zach Herron and Tony Tucker inside the Tucker Speed Shop studios as we get ready for the Nebraska 811 Middleweight Superbike class to go racing here. We had Chris Hasemeyer, the pole position as the green flag waves. We've also got Jamie Hansen, Keurig Nabel, Brandon Rowell, James Flume, Dylan Connor, and Joel Ott all getting ready to take the track. Let's see who's going to be grabbing the early race lead. One rider almost taking notes from that last race, trying to do a little bit of...
taking a shortcut there into turn one.
Yeah, a little bit of lawn care there as they head into turn two, and it looks like it is going to be the 80 machine of Chris Hasemeyer trying to make quick work of it. He was the fastest qualifier earlier today, and he finds himself out front right now.
Yeah, he's already looking to check out, going down the back stretch, being chased down. Don't want to let him get too far out there. Let him stretch that out early in the race, and it's really hard to reel him back in.
Yeah, and we talked about that as far as it's real easy to lose time, but as far as making it back up, it's so hard to try to find better lines or anything like that. Most of these racers kind of know the overall flow of the track, especially after a full day of practice yesterday, but one quick mistake and you can find yourself right back in the mix.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just because he's checked out doesn't mean he's a race winner yet. I mean, a lot of things got to happen. There's a lot of racing to happen here, but you're making it really easy for him if you let him check out and just focus on hitting his points and just clicking off laps.
So we've got the number 80 out front leading the way, trying to get a number on that second place spot. They're not letting him get too far away, though. It kind of seems like that gap is maintained so far.
Yeah, this is still lap one, so just trying to kind of get a feel for the racetrack, and I think we'll get into the middle part of this race and really settle in and try and make a few moves.
Kind of seeing two main groups of riders split back and forth there. You see first and second battling it out, and then third and fourth really in a much closer battle, as it looks like that is the 911 of Jamie Hansen in the second place spot.
Jamie coming off of this is a back-to-back second run of a back-to-back run. He was in the class before this, so he's doing double duty here. So off of one bike and onto the next, so it's got to be challenging, jumping on a different bike, jumping into this class. This is the middleweight superbike class. Middleweight is any superbike up to 700 cc's, so you see some SV650s out there, some Aprilia 660s, your Yamaha R6s or Suzuki Gixxer 600s out there would all qualify for a middleweight superbike.
Now, you talk about doing double duty back-to-back. Now, jumping on two different bikes, that's definitely got to be difficult. But sometimes it seems like if you're coming right off the track, your adrenaline's already spiked up, the heart rate's already up there, maybe even find yourself a little bit easier to get back into that race flow.
If you've got the fitness, and that's where it may come into play, is do you have the fitness to do two back-to-back races like that? I mean, yeah, the adrenaline's there, you're feeling the flow, you're right off the track and back on, and so that can be an advantage, but maybe towards the end of this race, fatigue and the fitness just isn't there, and may come into play later on in this race.
Absolutely, especially if you're trying to chase down your leader. Chris Hasemeyer right now looking really solid as he exits turns 13 to complete another lap out here in this Nebraska 811 middleweight superbike class.
So yeah, looks like Jamie just trying to stay in touch with Chris Hasemeyer right now. Trying not to let him get too far out, but if he doesn't pick up the pace here, Chris has really got a lead that is going to be hard to catch.
Yeah, absolutely. I believe it's lap 2 or 3 now, so if he's not starting to make momentum forward, he's going to be running out of time before he knows it. Like you said, especially out on track, 7 laps sneaks up on you just like that.
It really does. It seems like a long time on TV, but trust me, when you're in the seat, it just seems like that white flag sneaks up on you, and you're just clicking off laps, and all of a sudden you see a white flag and you're out of time.
Now we've got Keurig Nabel in that third place spot with Brandon Rowell in fourth and James Flume rounding out your top 5. It looked like Keurig and Brandon were in a pretty close battle the last time we saw them on screen. Going to try to see if once your leaders go by, whether or not they are still that close. It's kind of crazy how in some of these riders we see them almost separate immediately and they kind of stay split apart, and then some riders, they're like magnets to one another. It doesn't seem to matter what they try, whether they make mistakes or not, they find each other back wheel to wheel.
Yeah, it's funny that way. Racing just seems to be that way. You know, you got people that you're real close in speed with, and you just always seem to find each other on the racetrack. Jamie Hansen still running there in second, sponsored by DP Brakes, LM2 Racing. Says he likes to have chicken dinners every weekend.
Who doesn't?
I mean, I can't argue with that.
Absolutely. There's a reason they say it tastes like chicken, because that stuff's good. Chris Hasemeyer out front leading the way on the number 1. And really, I mean, that's exactly how you want to do it. He got the he got the pole position, qualifying really well this morning. And then it's one thing to get pole position, but to be able to make something with it. He's with that underground team racing. We talked to York earlier, Arch York, with the owner of the team. And so maybe getting a little bit of knowledge from the other teammates. Hey, what lines were you taking here? How's the track developing there? But he is looking solid out front for sure.
There's definitely an advantage to being on a bigger team like that with multiple riders, because you can all, bring back data from the racetrack on what's working and what's not, what's a good line and what isn't. So it's definitely an advantage, like, to the underground racing team to have 4, 5, 6 different racers out there all helping each other out to go faster.
Absolutely. And we talk about, I mean, we've got so many different accomplished riders in different disciplines that are serious racers, if you will. I love his bio. He says, I've been racing since I was 4 years old. I'm just here having fun on my motorcycle. And, hey, they say if you're having fun, you're going fast, and he's doing just that.
Yeah, I mean, that's why we do all this, is it's fun, right? That's what motorcycling is to all of us. We love two wheels. We're passionate about it, but we do it because it's fun. And the underground racing team's out here having a ton of fun this weekend, looking like they're going to be taking home a few podiums this weekend on that team.
Absolutely, trying to rack up for sure. Going to be calling before they dig themselves a nice new trophy case. That's for sure. Yeah,
sure.
Gonna have to build one from the ground up, because they're going to be racking up this weekend as we get ready to check off another lap. Hasemeyer looking solid, and we talk about having fun on a racetrack. Obviously, anybody, at least that I feel like, or that I know, that's whether it's a dirt bike, a street bike, a Harley, whatever it is, we like to go fast, right? Who doesn't love to feel the speed and the adrenaline that comes along with it? But to be able to do it out here on a closed course like this, it's a safe environment, because it's a race environment. You're not worried about little Timmy who's texting on his phone and crossing over the lines or anything like that. You can focus on what you're doing. You've got a beautiful facility. I mean, this MPH facility getting brand new asphalt in 2021, so this is only the 3rd season on this. A super solid location. We've got great sponsors. We've got great people. We've got medics on site. This is an opportunity to have fun, go as fast as you can, and just really go back to why we all enjoy riding a motorcycle.
That's what it's all about, just getting back to the roots of, we all have those memories of being kids, just, riding through the woods or whatever it might be. And, we're all just out here being adult children trying to race motorcycles, and it's such a good time.
Absolutely, for sure, and having a great time is your leader right there, making his way through. We saw him doing a little look back, just checking out what was going on behind him. He's probably not seeing too much as he has opened that gap up.
He's really checked out, but don't play the looking back game, because someone might sneak up on you if you're not too careful.
Absolutely, especially we saw some of these guys getting real close to taking some detours through the grass, and that is going to derail your race in a hurry.
For sure. Lose your line for a split second. You could be out in the grass in the sand trap, and someone's going right by you.
So we'll try to see. We're following our leader right now. I'd like to try to see whether Kira and Brandon are still close to one another for that 3rd and 4th place spot. They were, maybe a bike length or 2 apart when we last saw them on camera. As looks like, so it does look like things have kind of spread out a little bit as we see your top 3 now on screen. Your leader exiting turn 2.
Yeah, it looks like Kira is just entering turn 2 there in the 3rd place position. A younger rider just started racing last year, racing with ARMA and CRA. She's actually going to be racing the Royal Enfield Build to Ride program for 2024, which is a really cool program that Royal Enfield has put together. And she's going to be competing in that along with the BRL season here with us.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is her home track. She rides with the group called Track Addicts, where we were even looking at some of their track notes yesterday, kind of helping the riders get figured out as far as the best way to make their way around, and clearly doing a great job right now as she is holding on to that final podium spot.
Yeah, it's a really good ride for Kira. Just holding her own out there just clicking off the laps. This is a home track, but she's a new racer, and she's just getting the experience under her belt, and that's what it's got to be. You just got to put in the time and put in the laps.
Absolutely, and with the results comes the confidence, comes the results, comes more confidence. It's just a snowball effect, if you will, and what better place to do it than right here at the Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers. She's got a great group around her as the white flag comes out, and she's going to be trying to bring home a podium finish out here. But Chris Hasemeyer, he's trying to take that #1 spot. He's got one lap left to do it.
Yeah, all he's got to do is just get around one more time, stay focused, don't look back, just, hold your lines, hit your braking points, and you'll bring home the checker.
And Tony, you know this. It's so simple. Just stay focused, right? You've done it these other laps, but something about that last lap, it's just the nerves get up a little bit higher. All of the pressure kind of just boil down in that moment. We've seen crazy mistakes before. Hopefully Chris is able to just bring it home.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about the last lap. And I mean, in some riders, it doesn't really faze them, and other riders, they allow it to creep into their head, and they start thinking about the what-ifs. I don't want to screw up on the last lap, and then all of a sudden, they lose their focus and make a mistake and go down or off track, and you throw it all the way on the last lap. So hopefully Chris can reel it in here and bring home the checkers. He's got a few more corners to navigate here, and he's going to bring it home.
So Chris Hasemeyer trying to grab the win here in the Nebraska 811 middleweight superbike class. He's just a few corners away. Jamie Hansen looked to try to give him a run for the money early, but doesn't look like he's going to be able to cut in to the lead. I'm going to be trying to grab second on the day with Kira Neville trying to round out the podium.
Yeah, Kira should be really proud of this third place. A podium finish out here this weekend. This is just round #1 of the BRL season, so to start off on a podium is a really good start to your season. I mean, they say you can't win a championship in round 1, but you can definitely lose it. So just finish the race and build from there.
Without a doubt. Well, the man who has grabbed the win here at round 1, Chris Hasemeyer, brings down the checkered flag and is going to bring that middleweight superbike win here to the Underground Team Racing on day 1. And like we said, this is a doubleheader weekend, so I'm very excited to see the confidence level and see whether it's the same names tomorrow or whether somebody like Akira who's getting a lot of confidence from a podium finish today. Maybe she's like, well, wait a second, I can do this, and she comes out swinging tomorrow. And we'll see who gets the overall championship belt for the weekend as well. As we take a look at the Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers replay, the green flag came down, and it was Hasemeyer, the fastest qualifier. He's got that preferred line, kind of swings out wide, protects it. And we've seen it before. If you get that good qualifying position, as we saw Jamie Hansen getting a little close to taking it off-road. I know he's got different bikes, but that is not the right bike to do that, as he tried to chase after Hasemeyer, and he kept him honest those first couple of laps, but Chris just slowly but surely itching away, bike length by bike length, till he opened up the big lead that you're seeing right there.
Yeah, and it's just a matter of seconds out here, and just, hitting your points and just lap after lap, just stretching out that lead, and just staying focused is the biggest thing. Just being confident and sticking to your lines, and just making it happen out there. Chris Hasemeyer ran a perfect race and brought home the checkers.
So we see the Drag Specialties replay. Chris Hasemeyer grabbing the win here for the Nebraska 811 middleweight superbike class. Making his way around, taking a cool down lap. That is race number 4 getting wrapped up. We've give you a rundown on how they came across the line. Chris Hasemeyer grabbing the win with Jamie Hansen and Kira Neville rounding out your top 3. Brandon Rao going to come across in 4th with James Flume, your top 5. And as you see the rest of the top 10 there, some great finishes and some great racing going on here in that middleweight superbike class. Can't wait to see what's in store for the rest of the day's racing. And looks like we were able to catch up with one of the original Bagger Racing League racers who we're going to see back out here today. Let's see what was going on with Tony Salima.
Known as Tony Shreds. You're a fill-in rider this weekend. We're nearing the end of practice day. How are we feeling out there today?
Oh, it's amazing. Clay couldn't be out here with us, but we're we're piloting the Youngblood FDR bagger, and man, this thing really handled the track great. We went out into the weeds a little bit, but you know, that's what happens when we push these things. But no, I think it's great. I think this track is amazing, and it's been really fun. So, yeah.
Right on. Thanks for your time. Good luck this weekend. We'll be cheering for you.
Thanks, bro.
So cool to have somebody like Tony Shreds there back out with us, obviously filling in for the ride and wish for the best for our man Clay Braun. But at the same time, it's so cool to have somebody that's been there from the beginning, still out here with us, and talk about somebody that knows what's what, right? He knows the good tracks from the not so good tracks, and had nothing but good stuff to say about MPH out here.
Yeah, Tony Salima has been doing this a long time. He probably has spun more laps on a road course on a Harley than anybody else. He was doing it before it was a thing. Filling in for the injured Clay Braun this weekend. Clay, kind of a staple in the BRL Pro Stock class, had high hopes and expectations coming into the 2024 season, and unfortunately Clay was in a motorcycle accident a few weeks back and is still recovering from that. And you know, Tony Salima was kind enough to jump on the motorcycle and fill in that duty of getting the bike out on track. And the FDR Foundation, they stepped up and are really helping that team, you know, make it happen. And hopefully they can bring home a podium for Clay.
Well, we talked about some of the international flair that we had out here. Let's talk about the Canadian rider. We got to catch a glimpse of him a little bit earlier, and we got to get a word from him earlier this weekend. Let's hear from Sam Guerin.
All right, guys, we're here with Sam Guerin. Sam, we're out at the kickoff of the 2024 season. It's your third season with Bagger Racing League. How are you feeling coming into the year?
This season, it's gonna be better for sure than the previous season. We made a lot of improvement on the machine, so we have a better engine and better suspension. So I'm looking forward. It's a new class for us this season. We'll go for the Bagger GP instead of the Pro Stock Bagger. So a lot of new stuff, but we should get used to it, and we should perform well.
Now, speaking of new stuff, we're going to be making the trip to your home country, up to Canada here in just a few months. How excited are you for that, and what are the expectations going back to your home country and racing?
Yeah, there's going to be a fun round. I'll do the double duty, so the superbike with BMW and the Bagger GP with Harley. So it's going to be an awesome weekend. Canadian Tire Motorsport Park is my favorite track in Canada. It's a high-speed track with huge corners with dives, and it's a really nice track. So I'm looking forward for this round.
There you go, guys. Sam Guerin feeling confident coming into the 2024.
So there we were, Sam Guerin feeling good. We talked about headed up north later this season to his home track in his home country. First time the Bagger Racing League goes up across the border and goes international. That's going to be an exciting one for sure. Well, we're going to get ready to line things up for race number 5, our Nebraska 811 Unlimited Superbike class. But before then, let's get a word from our sponsors, and we'll be back to the Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers.
Performance is a leader in high-performance aftermarket parts for Harley-Davidson motorcycles. World-renowned for industry-first bolt-on turbo systems and cutting-edge motorcycle components, all made right here in the USA. Assault the street and the track with confidence. Performance-minded, performance-driven. Trask.
All right, crew, let's get started. Kurt?
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811. Brought to you by Nebraska 811.
Bridgestone's reintroducing their Supermoto tires here in the United States and Canada. That's the BMO1 front and the RO2 rear. It's available in a 16.5 inch as well as a 17-inch configuration. The Racing Battle Axe is a non-DOT tire, and we definitely recommend tire warmer. Time's the only thing in life that money can't buy, but you can buy Bridgestones.
That's my neighbor Joe. Hey, Joe.
Hey, John.
Joe's about to make a big mistake. Hey, Joe. Think it might be a good idea to call 811 to have the utilities marked before you start digging?
I'm not digging very deep. It's no big deal.
No big deal.
Dad, the TV's out. Internet too.
Remember, safe digging always starts with a free call to 811. Oh, what a knucklehead.
Brought to you by Nebraska.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to MPH Motorsport Park Hastings for the opening round of the 2024 Drag Specialties Battle of the Bagger. Zach Herron and Tony Tucker here inside the Tucker Speed Studios as we get ready for race number 5, the Nebraska 811 Unlimited Superbike class. We hope you guys have been enjoying the racing action so far here in 2024. And Tony, we talked about it. 2024, the 4th year of racing for the BRL, and bigger and better than ever.
Yeah, we've got some new classes, added classes, combined classes. I mean, the evolution of this sport is very fast, and we're figuring things out. And 4 years in with the Bagger Racing League now, and it's bigger and better than ever. We got the Unlimited Superbike class. They're coming around turn 13, taking their grid positions, getting ready to take the green flag here real quick. The Unlimited Superbike class is just that, Superbikes Unlimited. We got a great mix of motorcycles out there.
Absolutely. As we take a look now, Brett Folkert's the top qualifier out of this, and with Brian Haig and Chris Hasemeyer second and third.
Got Rob Oliva, Tommy Ryan, Jamie Hansen, and the last row, Catherine Bukowski, Josh Thompson, and Dylan Connor rounding out our grid positions here. So we see Brett Folkert's on that Ducati Panigale.
Here we go. The green flag's up and it's down. Let's go racing. The Nebraska 811 Unlimited Superbike class is off and rolling. Who's it going to be headed into turn 1 grabbing the early lead? Looking like it's a red machine. Possibly the 74 of Brian Haig. Trying to grab that early race lead, but he's got company alongside the outside.
Yeah, this looks like it's going to be a very competitive race here, this Unlimited Superbike class. These bikes have a ton of power, monster horsepower here, awesome stopping power. This should create for a great, great race.
Trying to see what the number was on that second place rider. Might have been Tommy Ryan on that 611. We've seen him earlier today have some solid runs as well, as he's already closing the gap up and trying to make a run on the lead. They head out of turns 5 and 6. Tries to run it up the inside, but some great riding up front from Haig leading the way right now.
Yeah, some really good action up front. Looks like we got some battles back in the pack for 3rd, 4th, and 5th. But
that is actually the 31, so that is Folkert's in the second place spot.
Folkert's off of the pole, trying to get out front there. Makes the pass happen.
Now let's see turn 11. It's been a tricky one. Both of your leaders able to get around it clean, and it looks like 3rd place says, I want to come up and get in the mix as well.
Yeah, he wants some of that action. Oh, he's like looking for the inside there. He's going to not have the preferred exit line there to see if he can make it stick. Looks like he does.
They come side by side down the start straightaway. It looks like Haig's able to get back around. That is the 145 of Rob Oliva there in 3rd place. He had the pass for second, made for just a split second, but like you said, didn't quite get that preferred exit. Haig was able to get back around.
Yeah, and these guys need to be careful because they're letting the lead bike get away from them. They're battling back and forth, and it's actually going to slow them down. So they gotta battle each other, but they can't let that lead rider check out.
And Falkert says, no, you guys battle all you want. He said, I am. I'm going to try to check out and grab this win. But Haig and Oliva, they're going at it with Chris Hasemeyer and Tommy Ryan sitting 4th and 5th. Taking a look, I believe that was Hasemeyer we were seeing, or no, that was Oliva that we saw on screen just a second ago. And that is the battle to watch right now. Only about a bike length or so separating 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah, Brett Folkert's really starting to check out here in the second lap. Brian Haig and Rob Oliva battling it for that second spot there. Chris Hasemeyer wants to get in on the action. Oliva trying to set it up, trying to make a pass here, looking for that right opportunity through the center of this track, that technical section through turn 4, through turn 12. And they're really dicing it up here through turn 12.
Wow, look at this. I believe that's Hasemeyer trying to get up in the mix as well as they head into 13. Let's see how it's going to play out. Like we said, 13.
See multiple lines happening there. They're all trying to get inside, outside, and make something happen here.
They separate as they head down the straight. It is still Haig with the preferred position. Looks like Hasemeyer going to try to take the long way around to make a pass around Rob Oliva.
I know Rob's going to want to challenge back and take back that 3rd position. We'll see if he can get it back here.
Absolutely. So we'll see. Rob tries to run a little further up the inside as they head down into turn 3, but loses just a little bit of time to Hasemeyer. Haig does not have any breathing room quite yet. He's trying to set his sights on Brett Folkerts, but he's got, honestly, Hasemeyer really seems to be trying to not just make the pass for 3rd, but he wants to go ahead and move up into the 2nd place spot as well.
He's charging, and he knows that if he wants to ever try and make a run at first, he's really got to get on the gas, so he does not want to waste any time at all. He's trying to make these passes happen quickly, give himself the best chance to get up to 1st place and battle with Brett Folkerts for the win.
Well, and Brian Haig doing a great job of riding defensively right now, but you can't help but think if I was somebody like Hasemeyer, maybe would feel like I had a little bit more pace. He's riding a defensive ride as Haig right now, as we see Hasemeyer trying to take the long way around. Wasn't quite able to do it. Thought he was going to try to make that setup into turn 12 like we saw earlier today.
Let's see if he can make something happen. He might try and go the long way around in 13. 13's such a tricky corner and hard to pass in.
As that, whoa, look at that.
They're going to drag race down the front stretch.
The front end picking up for Haig. Got that thing turned over. That could have been seriously bad, but he kept the throttle wide open, and he hangs on to the 2nd place spot right now. But it is battle royale between Brian Haig and Chris Hasemeyer as they make their way out of turn 2.
Yeah, I think if Hasemeyer wants any shot at the top spot there, he really got to get around Haig. I think Haig might be holding him up just a little bit through the technical sections. It looks like Haig might have a little bit of horsepower advantage around turn 2 and 3 and into turn 4 where horsepower really counts. But Hasemeyer really creeps up on the back tire of Haig coming through the technical sections of the track.
And Hasemeyer, he's pushing the envelope right now. He's trying to force a pass. Oliva kind of just hanging close back there, says, hey, if you guys get a little too squirrely, I'm going to try to get a 2-for-1 and head back in the 2nd spot. Yep.
Yeah, so, sometimes it's not about the pass you make, but the pass you're handed. So, Oliva just being patient back there, letting these guys kind of battle it out and see what happens.
And just beyond Rob Oliva is Tommy Ryan rounding out the top 5, but cannot pull away from this 3-rider battle right now. Super close racing in this Nebraska 811 Unlimited Superbike class. This is exactly what we were hoping to see.
Yeah, these guys have been running some impressive lap times all weekend as well. These Superbikes have monster horsepower, huge brakes. These guys have really been clicking off some really impressive lap times all weekend.
Well, and we even go back to the qualifying schedule from earlier today. Brett Folkerts, he kind of set the pace. He qualified first with a 1:30.085. That was about 3 seconds faster, but then Brian Haig, Chris Hasemeyer, and Rob Oliva were only about a second difference between all 3 of them. 1:33s for both Brian Haig and Hasemeyer. As you can see, it lines up on track right now as they are wheel-to-wheel, battle-to-battle here for the 2nd place spot.
Yeah, these 3 riders here on screen are really close in lap times, really close, in talent, it looks like. They're just chalking it up. But yeah, it doesn't look like any one of these three have anything for Folkers today. Folkers is just checked out on another level right now. But these guys all want to finish on the podium. 2 of those 3 are going to get a podium spot, and odd man out.
Absolutely,
see what happens.
Who's it going to be? Because nobody, I believe that was you that was saying nobody likes finishing 4th.
4th is the worst, man. I think 4th is worse than 2nd.
Wow, look at this. Once again, side by side. And look at that. Hasemeyer trying to take the long way around again. Fantastic defensive riding from Brian Haig.
Yeah, this is a great battle here between Hasemeyer and Haig. Hasemeyer, I think, has a little bit more pace, but Haig just riding so well and so defensively. Hasemeyer just cannot find a way around him. It's a great battle.
Well, we say it all the time. It's one thing to catch up to a rider, but to find a way around him, it's a totally different ball game. We've seen Hasemeyer looking inside, looking outside, trying to set things up, but wherever he goes, Brian Haig's there.
Yeah. Say round turn 13 here. See if Hasemeyer can get a good drive and maybe make a pass down the front stretch. Drag race back down to turn 1 here. Hasemeyer really charging hard, but man, I think Haig just might have a little bit of horsepower advantage.
So Haig able to use what he's got, maybe a little bit of horsepower, and then he's got the position right now, able to ride defensively up front, just trying to keep Hasemeyer behind him as they exit turn 2, going to really open those machines up. Top speed as they head into turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, you see Haig really kind of stretches it out here after the end of the front stretch and after turn 2. And then Hasemeyer really just comes on strong through the technical sections. Hasemeyer really riding well. That's just a good indication that Hasemeyer's motorcycle's really working well. The suspension is dialed, the brakes are working, everything's jiving together because Hasemeyer really just making it happen through the technical sections of this track.
That's what I was about to say, especially these double apexes. We've seen it multiple times. He pulls alongside, but he's just not ever quite close enough to be able to actually secure the move.
He is right there again. Looks like he's going into turn 9 and 10, a double apex here. He just cannot find the right opportunity to make a pass stick. He's pulled up alongside a couple of times, but just has not been able to make it happen.
They exit through turn 12 now, headed to 13 once again. As you see your leader going by on the other side, got to give credit where it's due. Brett Folkerts right now kind of in a league of his own out front as he has already taken the white flag, 1 to go. Looking like the lead is kind of secure right now, but it is anybody's guess who's going to be grabbing second.
And Hasemeyer, he's got 1 lap to make it happen. So, maybe he's been holding his cards and just sitting back there waiting for the right time to make the pass. Because there's nothing worse than making that pass and then getting passed again on the last lap. So maybe Hasemeyer's been playing this exactly how he wants to, just sitting there in 3rd and knowing exactly where he can make the pass. He'll make it on the last lap and take that 2nd spot.
Well, I tell you what, Tony, I'm excited to see turns 5, 6, and 7. That's where he's pulled up alongside these last few laps. He's pretty close this time. I'm not sure if it's any closer than we've seen in laps previous, but we've seen he's been ever so close to getting that pass made. Let's see what he's able to do here.
Yeah, this is exciting stuff. This is going to come down to the wire here for Hasemeyer and Haig. Brett Folkerts is way out front in the number 1 spot. Hasemeyer looking inside.
Let's see.
Oh, he just can't quite get there yet.
And that's smart riding too. He could have left off the brakes, but I don't think it would have worked out for him like he wanted. Just wasn't quite close enough.
Yeah, the last thing you want to do is take yourself and the other rider out. Oh, you had to check up there a little bit. It's now or never for Hasemeyer.
Running out of time, running out of real estate. They've only got 2 turns left.
Oh, he's going to try and take the inside here into turn 13. Let's see if he can get aggressive.
Oh.
Turn 13 is just so tricky to make a pass in.
It's a drag race headed to the finish. And look at that,
Haig
little
with
speed
the front
wobble.
tire in the air.
So Brett Folkerts is going to grab the win with Brian Haig finishing 2nd and Chris Hasemeyer rounding out the podium. Rob Oliva just behind them in 4th, and we believe it will be Tommy Ryan rounding out the top 5. It's hard to get more exciting than that right there. I mean,
that's a nail biter right down to the checkered flag. That's what it's all about right there. That was a heck of a race for both Brian Haig and Hasemeyer, but give credit to where it's due. Brett Folkerts out front, never looked back, and takes home that win.
Let's take a look at the race replay, show you exactly how it all went down. As you can see, Haig he's had that front end off the ground a couple of times, including right off of the start. He grabs the early race lead. And we were curious to see what he was able to do with it. Brett Falkerts there kind of funnels into second in those first couple of corners. Like we said, sometimes you got to be patient. You got to go slow to go fast. Didn't want to force any issues early. As we've seen, Haig extremely defensive as far as the way as protecting the lines, but Falkert was able to get around, and once he got some clean air in front of him, he started stretching things out. This is pretty much, you couldn't tell whether this was lap 2 or lap 7, Tony. I'm telling you what, those guys were wheel to wheel almost the entire time. Rob Oliva got up in the mix as well, making it a 3-rider battle for the second and third place spots.
Yeah, it was a 3-way battle there for a little bit, but Haysmeyer and Haig really battled the whole time. Really exciting race. There's the drag race to the finish there, and second place going to Haig.
The Unlimited Superbike class brought to you by Nebraska 811. We saw that was probably the closest to a pass made for second of the entire race. Showed him a wheel, had it for, maybe 50 feet, if that, and then Haig just came right back around him. He had those preferred lines, and Tony, just like you said, maybe had just a little bit of motor to where he was able to kind of maintain in some of those spots. But you got to give credit to Haysmeyer. Like you said, those technical spots really seemed like he was able to surgically move that bike around and put it exactly where he wanted.
Yeah, his bike was really on point. He was able to kind of, like you said, put that bike wherever he wanted it to go. I just think he might have been lacking a little bit of horsepower there.
And there they are, drag racing all the way to the line, trying to make a move even on that final lap in 13, but it just wasn't quite going to be enough as Brett Falkert grabs the win. Brian Haig going to grab second, and Chris Haysmeyer rounding out your podium. Going to take a look at the unofficial finishing results here, let you know exactly how things are going. As you can see, the crowd's still having a great time. So there it is, Brett Falkert's leading the way, grabbing the win. Brian Haig second, Chris Haysmeyer third, with Rob Oliva and Tommy Ryan your top 5. And as you can see, the rest of the top 10 there making their way across the line as well. Looks like everybody's still having a great time out there. We can hear it outside of the Tucker Speed studio. Looks like Rob Bites got everybody hyped up. They've got the fans going crazy. They got some great smelling food going on as well. We had some barbecue yesterday, and we talked about the unique teams. We heard from Underground Team Racing as well. Let's catch up with another fantastic team with a great message behind them as well. Let's hear from FDR Team Racing.
All right, guys, we are down here with one of the most unique stories in the pits. That's what Bagger Racing League is all about, is getting the unique world around motorcycle racing and all the great causes behind it. I'm here with Frank, FDR Racing. You've got some great stuff going on. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about what FDR is and what you guys stand for?
Awesome. So FDR Foundation is a nonprofit organization, and we raise money to help downriders and families dealing with catastrophic motorcycle accidents. FDR Foundation stands for Frank Dean Rosales, which is my son that we lost in 2021. And we're just trying to do some good in his name. That's basically it. And we got involved with the racing with Justin Alloyart and the boys over here, just to try to raise awareness that we're out here. We're here to help people, and we're here to make a difference and do some good with this. And we love racing.
Hey, absolutely. Don't we all? Don't we all?
It's a blast. These guys are, this is our first real season with these guys. We got involved with Clay Braun, number 951, great kid. We were actually able to help him out. He was in a bad motorcycle accident, and we were able to help him out. And with his approval, we got the bike out here. This is our 951 Pro Stock bike. And we were able to get this out here. We're going to do the tour with the BRL and have some fun, raise some awareness, and kind of make it happen.
Now we're out here at round 1 in Hastings. We've just finished up practice. How's the team feeling? Everybody was looking fast out there. I know towards the end of the day we had some wild moments, but at the end of the day it was a great day of practice. How are you guys feeling?
We're feeling great. Josh built us a hell of a motor. Josh from RPM built us a hell of a motor. We got Tony. We're lucky enough to get Tony Salima, the godfather of BRL, out here to ride for us, and he's just doing a hell of a job. And we're just trying to have a good time and do some good stuff for Clay. You know, we're out here just honoring Clay and honoring my son, Frank Dean Rosales, and just doing some good, just doing real good.
Now, anybody at home, if they want to check out FDR and learn more about it, you guys have a website or a page they could follow?
We sure do. So we're on Instagram. It's FDR Foundation on Instagram, and we're also FDR Foundation, FDRFoundation.com. No, wait, is it? Yeah, FDRFoundation.com. We got a full website there. You can check us out on there.
There you go, guys. Be on the lookout for FDR Racing out here in Hastings.
So great stuff going on for the FDR Racing team. A truly fantastic team with a fantastic cause and meaning behind it. Obviously taking care of their own Clay Braun as well. We wish him a speedy recovery, hoping he's watching Today we're covering all of the action as we get ready for the Andrew Performance Products Bagger GP class. This one is going to be super exciting, but let's catch up with another one of our riders. This one kind of special to me, coming from a motocross, supercross background, so excited to hear from our very own Cody Gilmore.
All right, back down here in the pits with Cody Gilmore. Cody, this is your first season, full season on the Bagger. What's your expectation going into this weekend?
Yeah, first season on it. You know, I did do Daytona last year. At the end of the year, did one race on it. So coming in here, I just wanted to come out and get some laps on there, kind of get the feel for it. You know, the bikes are a lot different than the bikes I was racing with last year, which were the XR 1200. So it's a lot heavier, a lot more power. So I just wanted to come out, kind of get a good feel for the bike today, and then, you know, step it up a little bit tomorrow. Try running a little bit faster of a time, and just kind of see how the race turns out, you know. So if I could come out on the podium all weekend, I'd be super happy and keep building, you know.
Right on. What going forward do you feel like could be changed or improved on the bike going into tomorrow?
For the most part, we kind of got a lot of bugs ironed out this morning. We had a lot of throttle issues and that type of thing, and just getting it all tuned. You know, this is the first time this bike's been on a track before today, so just trying to get everything tuned. I was changing the rear sets and the pegs, changing shifters a lot, changed the rear brake this morning. So just trying to get everything to feel for me and be able to get good clean shifts in and everything. So tomorrow it's just more working on myself, I think. Just kind of learning the power a little bit more and just working on the lean angle and trusting them tires at this higher bike that I'm not used to. So for the bike-wise, I think we're good. I just got to work on myself, you know. So we'll see.
Right on. We're looking really good out there today, so good luck tomorrow.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
So awesome stuff there from Cody Gilmore. Excited to see what he is able to do here coming up in just a little bit. We talked about the international flair that we have out here at the BRL in 2024. Let's try to get a word from one of the riders with probably the most excitement and buzz around his name. A little guy by the name of Ruben Zaus. You ever heard of him? Well, we were able to catch up with him a little earlier this weekend.
All right, we're here with a rider with probably the most excitement around his name, Ruben Zaus. Obviously an extremely accomplished career over here in Bagger Racing League now. How are you feeling out here at Hastings for round one?
Yeah, I mean, since last year we just started to come and race with baggers in America. We raced at Willow and it was quite okay for the debut, but the expectations are always higher and bigger. We went to Daytona without having lots of success with many technical issues. The bike wasn't homologated full fit with the rules in MMA, so we need to change completely the status of the bikes. My dad got an operation, a heart operation, just a week before Austin, so I couldn't manage to go and race with the More America guys on a MotoGP. So I concentrate on develop my bike in Europe, being able to test the bike with a much closer racetracks, you know. Around my house in Andorra, maybe I have 6-7 racetracks, which I can go in within 31 hours, minutes, and that's good because we develop the bike, we learn much more, we tune a few things, and now I just came in the bike with much more mileage, and I jump on the bike and I can go faster, you know, and quicker and easy. So that's the point that we needed, you know. It's not about the speed I have because I've got the speed to race with those guys. It's just that our bike, it was maybe never tuned or developed at the level that maybe More America factories have. So we need to be humble and just do a step back, set up correctly the bike to come again and race with them, you know, which is going to be maybe on the next rounds. But meanwhile, I want to do the full BRL league because Rob always took care of me as a kid, as a partner, and suddenly after those things with the setups and homologations in creating that bike in Europe, all my partners in Europe, like the big brands of the MotoGP and superbikes, have seen interesting the Baggers Championships to develop their products for the market. So they are all on board and they're pushing me to just create something with Rob in Europe. So let's see what's happening.
There it is, guys. He's not looking to just make noise here in America. He's looking to take Bagger Racing League worldwide.
So great stuff there from Ruben Zaus, and I'm excited to see that. I mean, Bagger Racing League worldwide, that doesn't sound too bad to me. What do you think, Tony?
Well, it's awesome to see, and I think that, you know, the representation that we have in this class here with the Bagger GP and Pro Stock Bagger class, a very international grid out here. Ruben, hailing from Spain. We have Sam Guerin, the Canadian, and Jake Masters, the Australian, all here in the Bagger Racing League. And so taking Bagger Racing League across international lines is something that's never been done, and the BRL is going to make it happen.
Absolutely.
It's exciting.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. And like you said, kind of the main event, the big dogs coming up next, if you will. We've got the Andrew Performance Product Bagger GP class, as well as that Pirelli Pro Stock Bagger on their warm-up lap right now. As you can see, they're allowed one crew member to get them lined up and get them set up on the grid, and then we will get ready to drop the green flag. Let's take a quick little rundown as far as exactly who we're about to see. So in that Andrews Performance Product Bagger GP class, we've got Ruben Zaus, who we just heard from, of course, Sam Guerin as well, the Canadian, Jesse Janik, and then Oleg Pajanik there rounding out the field in Bagger GP. We've also got in Pirelli Pro Stock Bagger, Cody Gilmore, Arnie Wells, Tony Salima, Tyler Elliott, Eric Reyes, and Joe Sanderson getting ready to round the field. Those are some big names and some heavy hitters all getting ready to take the track at the same time.
Some really big names. There should be a really good race. A few guys to look for. Obviously, Ruben has been very fast all weekend, but Cody Gilmore has been sneaky fast on that number 374 Suburban Motors Harley-Davidson bike. I really going to watch for him to be battling it up front with these guys. Getting really close to a green flag here for the Bagger GP and Pro Stock Bagger classes here. Green flag in the air, and they're off.
We're off and rolling. There you see, look like Ruben Zaus trying to make quick work and grab the early race lead. Looking like a little MotoGP style there. I saw that leg kick off.
Ruben is a very accomplished rider, world superbike rider, has raced a lot of different disciplines and very, very fast on a motorcycle. But man, Sam's not going to let it go easy. Sam Guerin. Oh, hand in the air again for Sam. More
Same
problems.
spot. Yeah, I don't know what that was, but look, I mean, almost the exact same spot that we saw earlier in the day. He ran into difficulty, so Sam Guerin doesn't look like he's going to be able to compete like we were hoping. It looked like he was feisty. It looked like he wanted it.
Man, that's really unfortunate for the OG Moto team. Looks like he's got it fired back up, but man, they must have an electrical gremlin or something in that motorcycle. Hopefully they can get that solved overnight for tomorrow's round.
So taking a look now, let's see who that is running in the second place spot on field. Is that Gilmore?
Cody Gilmore in second and Arnie Wells in third. Both of those two riders on the Suburban Motors Harley-Davidson team, sponsored by Sly Fox, Bridgestone, Jolly Good. They got a list of sponsors. A really strong team. They got a handful of riders out here this weekend, and it's really starting to show the strength of that team right there. Cody trying to stay in touch with Ruben right now.
Yeah, there's one guy you want to try to take notes from and see exactly what he's doing. Ruben Zaus, you can see right there. It just seems like he's able to lean just a little bit more. He's almost just even a little more aggressive on these incredibly heavy machines, which is so crazy to say that he's able to manhandle 600 plus pounds around, but nonetheless you see him doing it.
Man, the stuff that Ruben's doing on this fueling-powered red Road Glide right now, it's unreal to watch him in real life. I was watching him all day yesterday through practice. And he's just really seemed to got this motorcycle really dialed in. I mean, you know, coming from a world superbike background, he really knows what it is he's looking for as far as traction, as far as braking, and has really got this bike dialed in.
Well, and it almost sounds cliche, right? Getting the bike dialed, getting everything set in properly. But when you're going this fast and when you've got the consequences that are this high, being comfortable on your machine is absolutely crucial, especially somebody at this level. He spent so many times fine-tuning machines of various disciplines, like you said. And even when we were doing that interview yesterday, between trying to get the interview, he was down there on the ground with his team, hands-on approach. He's not just talking, he's out there trying to spin wrenches and help out as much as possible.
Well, there's a reason that a guy like him, you know, rises to the level of like a world superbike rider, and it isn't because he's not actively involved with the team and the motorcycle. I mean, to get to that level, you have to be very committed to every aspect of the motorcycle and the team and yourself. And there's so much to balance there between the motorcycle, yourself, your mental fitness, your physical fitness, all of the above. And Ruben's got that pedigree, and it's really showing here in the BRL in round number 1 here.
Well, right now he is out front leading the way for your Andrew Performance Product Bagger GP class. We'll try to check back in and see what's going on in that Pirelli Pro Stock Bagger, as Cody Gilmore and Arnie Wells were doing battle last time we saw, with Tony Salima knocking on the door as well. He currently holds down that third place spot.
I know his good buddy Clay Braun, who's at home, resting and healing up from that motorcycle accident, is cheering on Tony Salima out there. And we wish Clay the best. Hope he heals up well, and we hope to see him at the next round in Michigan here coming up in about 4 weeks.
Absolutely, but definitely enjoying watching Salima do his thing right now as Eric Reyes rounding out the top 5. We'll see on screen, but as you can see already, quite the gap been opened up by Ruben Zaus out front.
Yeah, it looks like Cody, that's a very respectable pace by Cody Gilmore. It looks like he's in the top spot in the Pro Stock Bagger class, and he's running some really good lap times here. And hats off to Cody. I don't think that the lead that Ruben has over him is an indication of how well Cody's riding this motorcycle. Cody's really been on fire and put in some really impressive lap times, and looks really good on that Suburban Motors Bridgestone back road glide out there.
Like we said, we've got so many different riders from so many different disciplines. Obviously, Cody coming from a motocross, supercross background, and then you've got Ruben out front with the Moto America background. Like, it just goes to show, whatever you've ridden, whatever you've grown up riding, you can still get you a bike and get out here, and it doesn't take too much to get it figured out. But these guys, top-level athletes, to be at the top level of both our Bagger GP and Pro Stock Bagger classes.
And to add to that mix, Arnie Wells sitting there in 3rd place. Our very first Bagger Racing League bike back in 2021 at Salt Lake City. Arnie showed up on a motorcycle that he rode to the track, street equipped, street glide, floorboards, handlebars, and now look at him, he's sitting 3rd behind Ruben Zaus and Cody Gilmore. So it just shows you that the everyday guy can get into this, and with a couple years and some hard work and some training, you can be a top dog out there. And Arnie won the championship back in 2022, so he's no slouch. So hats off to Arnie. Tony Salima at 4th. Eric Reyes, a new racer this year, sitting in 5th. I had a good conversation with Eric yesterday. This is his first Bagger Racing League race, and I think to be sitting 5th here is a huge accomplishment. And so hats off to Eric for running 5th.
Yeah, talk about jumping into the deep end here in this Pro Stock Bagger class. Doing a great job right now as we take a look at some of our other riders out on course making their way around. I believe that is Eric just up the top of your screen.
Yeah, and that's the 501 of Tyler Elliott. Tyler was nice enough to donate that on-track GoPro footage at the top of the show. And so thanks to Tyler for filming some stuff yesterday from practice and letting us use it here in the broadcast. Tyler out there holding it down in 6th place right now, having a good run.
Doing a great job for sure. And yeah, talk about how fortunate we are we've got drones, we've got cameras on the ground, and then to be able to get an onboard, just an idea as to how fast they're going, the way they're setting these things up. It's truly impressive to see for sure.
So Ruben just doing what Ruben does and just clicking off impressive lap times, lap after lap, and just making it happen, making it look effortless and easy. So.
And we see on screen, so Tony, maybe you can explain this a little more for the viewers at home. Ruben really kind of the only rider that we've seen so far is kicking that leg out. Can you explain as to what it is that he's doing?
Yeah, it's kind of a dual purpose thing. It's kind of for balance as you go into the corner and you're hard on the brakes and you're really trying to get an idea of what the tires are doing underneath you. And getting that leg out there, it's kind of like if you're standing on a balance beam and you kick one leg out to the side, it helps you balance a little bit more. So it's helping him stay balanced. And also some of the racers say it actually adds braking power. You kick that leg out there into the wind and it helps slow you down even faster. So it's kind of a dual purpose. It's for balance and helping you slow down a little bit.
Well, it's certainly working out for him right now as he is continuing to set a blazing pace out front, now starting to work his way into the tail end of the field.
Looks like he's getting ready to lap Joe Sanderson there. Joe having a good run. Looks like Ruben's going to make quick work of that going into turn 1 there. Ruben has, his sights set really high, wanting to take Bagger Racing League global, like we talked about in the interview earlier. And he's making, a strong foundation in his own program here on what Bagger Racing League, is, and he's building a strong motorcycle and a strong team. And I think Ruben has a lot of promise, and he's going to help take this sport to the next level on an international scale.
Yeah, I think that just goes to show with Bagger Racing League, obviously this is a national series, and it's a big event, but at the same time, you know, whether it's with Rob Bidas or whoever it is out of the BRL crew, they listen to the riders. They talk to them. They get ideas from them. And it seems like the riders want to be an integral part of the growth of the sport as well. They're out there putting on social media, trying to reach out to their friends, anybody that they know with a bike that could race. They're trying to get them out here, and we encourage each and all of our viewers out on YouTube as well. If you have a bike, or even if you just want to come check it out, it's worth it. It's worth the drive. It's worth to come out here, because I think it is only the beginning of great things for BRL. And like you said, not only we're taking it on a national level, looking to go international in the years to come.
Yeah, with the Canadian round coming up later this year, it's really exciting. It'll be the first time that baggers are going to be racing on the other side of the American border, so it's exciting stuff. Ruben making some hand gestures there to his team. Not sure if he's got an issue there. We'll have to keep an eye on that. Hopefully everything's okay, but it looks like he was pointing at the motor or something as he passed by his team there, crossing the start-finish line. Hopefully everything's okay. I know Cody Gilmore and Arnie Wells would not be upset if Ruben had a mechanical, because that's going to be the only way they're going to catch him.
Maybe don't want him out of it, but just slow him down a little bit.
Just slow him down a little bit, yeah. Make it interesting.
Exactly.
Right? Yeah, it looks like Cody still holding down second, Arnie in third, Tony Salima holding down fourth, and Eric Reyes rounding up the top five still. Nothing changed there. Everybody kind of just like running their pace. Everybody's kind of got a little bit of a gap on the rider in front of them. And everybody just trying to hold their own and click off laps here and not make any mistakes.
Can't help but wonder where Sam Guerin would have been in the mix of this as well. He looked really strong early in those first couple of corners, and looks like he wanted to get into the fight. So hopefully, like you said, they're going to be able to get that machine figured out overnight, and that is the beautiful thing. Maybe you don't get the start that you were looking for. Maybe you didn't have the race that you were looking for today. Guess what? We get a chance to do it tomorrow as well.
Yeah, and I know one thing about that original Garage Moto team is that they're a strong team. They're going to put in the work. They're going to be up all night tonight if that's what it takes to get this bike figured out. They're going to do everything they can to fix this motorcycle so that they can get out here and finish strong tomorrow.
Talking about finishing strong, Ruben Zal's trying to do just that. He's got one more lap to go out here in the Andrew Performance Product Bagger GP class.
Looks like that motorcycle's still running strong, so I don't know what he was pointing at earlier, but that bike is still... Oh, I see a little bit of smoke there.
I see exactly what you're talking about there, Tony.
Oh, that's... I see smoke.
Ooh, I'm seeing a lot more of it now as well, and this could be a huge shakeup.
Man, he's just got to make it around one more time. Hopefully that's not oil. The last thing you want to see is oil on a back tire and have him go down. That's not what we want to see. So hopefully he can get it around to the finish line before anything catastrophic happens here. Hopefully that's not too bad.
And we talk about this Bagger GP class. These guys are pushing the envelope and pushing the limits of both the man and machine, right?
For
so
sure.
It's it just goes to show sometimes it's not always the man who can't hang on, but the bike that just can't quite make it. Looks like he's limping it there. I mean,
there's a lot of smoke. And a lot of smoke coming out of there. Can't quite tell where it's coming from. He's just got to hang on. He realizes there's something going on. He knows what's up, so hopefully he's going to be able to limp it home.
And it looks like there was a yellow in that corner as well, so trying to see whether or not there's a down rider or anything like that.
He's got one more turn. He's just kind of easing it in there, which is smart, because the last thing you want to do is lay into a corner with oily tires and throw it all away. So he's got, the nice thing is he had built up enough of a lead that he allowed himself to just kind of limp it in there and get home and still take home that number one spot.
Yep, he got the damage done early there. You can see him taking a look down at the machine. And he does still take the checkered flag and the win there for the Andrew Performance Product Bagger GP class. Going to go ahead and pull that thing off to the side of the racetrack.
Yeah, and like you were saying, these motorcycles are not motorcycles that were ever designed or intended to be ran on a road course and pushed to the limits that these guys are pushing them to. So yeah, it's very easy for these guys to find the limits of these motorcycles. And it looks like Ruben found it today. I think that fueling team, another really strong team, a talented group of guys, and they'll get to work tonight, get that bike ready for tomorrow.
And it did look like Cody Gilmore was going to come across the line for the Pirelli Pro Stock Bagger win. We think it was Arnie Wells coming across the line in second as we're watching Ruben Zaus talk with, I'm not sure if that's a team member or maybe a track official.
Looks like a track official, yeah.
Well, let's take a look at how the final race of the day unfolded. So Ruben Zaus, like we said, making quick work in the beginning, aggressively getting that start and moving into the preferred line. And it looked like it was going to be Sam Guerin there giving him a run for his money. Really runs it up close here in turn 2 and sets his sights for that long stretch down turn 3. We thought we had a battle on our hands, and then almost in the identical spot as earlier today, the hand goes up and Sam Guerin not sure if he finished, but wasn't able to run up competitively at the front like he wanted.
Yeah, I think he did get the bike restarted, but not sure if he ran the full race or not, and obviously not in contention for a podium. So here's Ruben just kind of plugging away in the laps, kind of just checked out, clicked off laps all through the race until that last lap, until he started having a mechanical, but was able to hold on there. But Ruben really just making it look effortless. It's funny, you talk to Ruben and he'll say that the bike needs this and the bike needs that, or it needs a little bit of this or a little bit of that, but man, on screen that thing looks like it's working perfectly.
Absolutely, yeah, and riding it perfectly as well. Now, we did see on that final lap, looked like some smoke starting to come out. We weren't quite able to identify where it was coming from, but it looks like by then the damage was done. Ruben was able to kind of nurse it all the way back to the finish line. No sense in running any kind of risk of getting oil on the tire or going down with only a couple of corners to go. And there it is. The checker flag came out, and Ruben Zaus going to grab the opening round win in your Andrew Performance Products Bagger GP class, with Cody Gilmore going to grab the win out of the Pirelli Pro Stock Bagger class as well.
That was an exciting race and really enjoyable. Cody, hats off to Cody, taking the win in the Pro Stock class and putting on an impressive ride. Arnie finishing in second in that class, third overall. Tony Salima on a brand new bike, on Clay Braun's bike. Really respectable fourth place there in the Pro Stock.
Does look like Sam Guerin came across the line. So
shows him in fifth.
Yep.
So he must have gotten it fired and charged back up and got a fifth place. So that's a good run for, given what he was dealing with.
Yep, and Eric Reyes finishing just behind him. And you see the rest of those top 10 finishers there out of both the Bagger GP and the Pro Stock Bagger class. And that is going to wrap things up as far as the racing action. But don't you guys go anywhere. We're going to get another quick word from our sponsors. Got to thank the ones that help us put on this amazing race series. And then we are going to be back with some podiums as we are going to chat it up with the riders that were out there doing battle here for the Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers.
Fast Performance is a leader in high-performance aftermarket parts for Harley-Davidson motorcycles. World-renowned for industry-first bolt-on turbo systems and cutting-edge motorcycle components, all made right here in the USA. Assault the street and the track with confidence. Performance-minded, performance-driven. Trask.
All right, crew, let's get started. All right.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811. Brought to you by Nebraska 811.
Bridgestone's reintroducing their supermoto tires here in the United States and Canada. That's the BMO1 front and the RO2 rear. It's available in a 16.5 inch as well as a 17-inch configuration. The Racing Battle Axe is a non-DOT tire, and we definitely recommend tire warmer. Time's the only thing in life that money can't buy, but you can buy Bridgestones.
That's my neighbor Joe. Hey, Joe.
Hey, John.
Joe's about to make a big mistake. Hey, Joe, think it might be a good idea to call 811 to have the utilities marked before you start digging?
I'm not digging very deep. It's no big deal.
No big deal.
Dad, the TV's out. Internet too.
Remember, safe digging always starts with a free call to 811. Oh, what a knucklehead.
Brought to you by Nebraska.
All right, guys, we're going to try this again. Ruben, like we were saying, you came out swinging early in the race, grabbed the early race lead, but those final couple of laps, you said you started to notice a smelling situation. We talk about how aware you are about your machine, your hands-on with it. Seemed like you were able to get things under control, but one more time, take us through what happened.
No, I mean, I'm very happy. Everything went really good, and last couple of laps I smelled some oil. It wasn't from the engine, it was just from the primary, so I was aware that it was just a controllable situation. So I just take a look passionately, and I saw the tube, expanding tube, it was just broken, and I just went really slow down the last lap. We've got some margin, unfortunately, for my teammates and competitors that they've got some technical problems, and it was more easy for us. But team fielding was working very well. Tires were very good. Bridgestone gave us good help this weekend. So, I mean, keep going.
Absolutely. Now, that's a good start to a doubleheader weekend. You named a couple of those sponsors, but who else do you need to thank for taking you out here racing?
No, my thanks that things coming out together. I mean, last couple of months was difficult because we just debuted in Daytona and we've got some technical problems. And I think we weren't, myself and everybody we weren't on the top level situation. But I built up a bike in Europe thanks to filling in my partners, Aloya, Trask, everybody. So at the end, we're just building a bike there and training often, and that's raising up our level. It's clear.
Absolutely, guys. One more time, put your hands together for your winner, Ruben Zaus, getting the job done. We head over second in class in that Bagger GP. Sam Guerin, man, you look feisty, all right, coming in that first turn, but we saw the hand go up. Take us through exactly what happened in the rest of the race. It seemed like you were able to get it fired back up and finish, but take us through what happened.
Yeah, exact. I was fighting with a little bit of throttle problems. So the guys have been working really hard just to get it fixed and try to find the little electronic thing that is triggering the problem. So I had to stop maybe 3 or 4 times on the track just to reset the engine and all the engine management system. So I got back in the race. I went pretty slowly, like half of the throttle, just to make sure that everything would stay for the remain of the race. So we finished. I'm pretty happy about it. Big shootout to the guys. We'll still work on the bike and try to fix it tonight for tomorrow to give a little bit more challenge. So I'd like to thank Primo Harley Davidson, Original Garage, Revolution Performance, Speed and Trend, Silver Wax, Alloy Art, SPB, Galford USA, Bridgestone guys. So thanks all the fans that came here, and we hope to give a better show tomorrow.
Hey, one more time, guys. Put your hands together. He didn't quit. Sam Guerin up here on the box. We're going to head over and chat it up with the Pirelli Pro Stock winner, Cody Gilmore. Man, an impressive performance. You were up inside that top 3 early in the race. Take us through how you were feeling. You were able to keep chase on Ruben. And what do you think as far as your first full season out here in BRL?
Yeah, I'm just having a great time out here. I used to live in Nebraska, so it's good to see all my friends come out and cheer me on. So that's pretty cool. And, yeah, I was just trying to get used to this bike. You know, it's a first season on a bagger, and just want to get out there and learn the best I can. And you can't really learn from better than these guys, you know, some of the world's best. So to get out there behind them and try to learn from them and learn their lines and then figure out the bike, it's pretty awesome. So for Bridgestone and Suburban Motors to step it up this year, and man, it's just been awesome, and I'm just pumped to be a part of it. And I want to thank Rob for putting this awesome series on. Tell all your friends to come out tomorrow and watch us, because we're going to be here again and putting on a good show for you guys. Hopefully tomorrow I can stay a little closer to Ruben too.
There you go, guys. One more time, let's hear it. Your Pirelli Pro Stock GP winner, Cody Gilmore, getting the job done. And passing out the awards is going to be Paula Fox. Going to get the photos, the Insta bangers, letting everybody know exactly how things wrapped up. The announcer going to get out of the shot. Nobody's going to want to see me. One more time, guys, a big round of applause. This is your overall podium here from the opening round, the Drag Specialties Battle of the Baggers. And next up, we're going to have our Pro Stock podium, and I'm going to turn the mic over to Tony Tucker.
All right, we got a T-shirt cannon out back here, so heads up. You don't want to take a shot. Keep your eyes open for T-shirts coming into the crowd here from 811 Nebraska. Huge thanks to those guys for jumping on as a sponsor for the BRL League this summer. 811 Nebraska. We're going to do a little change of bikes up here. Let these guys take some photos. But another congratulations to the Bagger GP podium finishers. Ruben Zaus on the fueling-powered red Road Glide. Sam Guerin on this beautiful gold Road Glide. The Canadian team. They got some work to do, but we'll see him tomorrow. And Cody Gilmore, very impressive out there. All right, I'm going to pull the owner of Fueling, Luke Leatherman here. Luke, give us your thoughts on that race. How'd things go for you guys?
Hey, it's nice to see Ruben up top. You know, it's been a battle over the past couple years, and, you know, getting these dressers around the racetrack's not an easy task. And, you know, huge shout out to the boys. You know, even with everything running smoothly, these things are a ton of work. And, you know, I think we've really created, you know, a true GP motorcycle here, and, you know, something that we're proud of. So thanks for everybody coming out, and appreciate you supporting the sport. Thank you.
Thank you, Luke. Impressive run. We'll see you guys tomorrow. All righty, everybody. We have our podium here for the Pirelli Pro Stock Bagger class. Congratulations to the top three here. I'm going to jump in with our third place finisher, Tony Salima. Tell us how that race went.
Oh, man, that race was awesome. We tried to get the best start we could, tried to chase down that front pack, and we had a couple battles here and there, but, you know, the FDR Youngblood Bagger is on rails, and it was awesome. You know, I can't say anything else.
Right on. Well, I'm glad to see you up on the podium here. It's great to have you back here in the pits. Congratulations on the third place finish.
Thank you. Thank you.
Second place finisher, Arnie Wells. Arnie, fan favorite. How did that race go for you?
It went pretty good. I need to work on my starts for sure and take some lessons from my teammate Cody Gilmore. He's ripping out there, so hopefully I can learn some from him this season. This is his first time on the baggers, so it's insane to watch him.
What are you going to do differently in the morning on that start?
I hope it goes better than today.
Right on. Anybody you want to thank before we jump over to talking to Cody?
Suburban Motor, Harley Davidson, thank you guys for building these bikes. They turned out sweet. Jolly Good Soda, Legend Suspension, Bridgestone Tires, Performance Machine. There's a lot more. Wayne's Drive-In, Trask, Oil, Alloy Art. There's many more, but.
Right on. Well, huge congratulations to Arnie Wells and the Suburban Motors team there. And our first place finisher, Cody Gilmore. Cody, walk us through that race. How'd things go?
Yeah, it was good. You know, just got a good start out there. And, yeah, I was looking forward to just being out there all day. So it's been fun. You know, I've been teammates with Arnie for a few years now, but I was in a different class. So it's fun to get out there and battle with him. And I'm sure we're going to be doing battle all season. So that's going to be a good time. And, yeah, man, just the beautiful bike Suburban built us this year. I just can't thank them guys enough, you know. So, yeah, it was a good race. It's cool to see Tony up here on Clay's bike. Shout out to Clay back home who's injured. And I want to say what up to him. He's probably watching on YouTube, you know. So get better, buddy, so you're back out here with us soon. And, yeah, thanks to all the sponsors, Bridgestone again, Sly Fox, Jolly Good, Suburban, NAMS, LS2 helmets. There's so many people helping us. Legend Suspension, the shocks are working awesome out there. The suspension is really good. So, yeah, man, everyone who stepped up and helped us to keep bagger racing alive, and, man, I want to thank them. So, appreciate it.
Right on. Congratulations to Cody Gilmore. Put your hands together for our podium finishers for the Pirelli Pro Stock Bagger class. We got Paula Fox handing out the trophies.
All right, guys, coming up next, we've got the Barnett Super Street Podium coming up next. So we're going to have Jake Masters, Chris Rivas, and Sean Hoffman. And don't forget about the evening festivities going on tonight, guys. Of course, got Drifter Cross, we've got stunt shows, we've got some more live music as well. Guys are not going to want to go anywhere. And then, obviously, we're going to see you back out here bright and early for day 2 of the doubleheader weekend. But right now, it is all the Barnett Super Street Podium coming up next. All right, so grabbing the win in the center of the box, Jake Masters, Chris Rivas there grabbing second, and Sean Hoffman rounding out the podium. Going to get them up there. How about a little round of applause, guys? Once again, this is your Barnett Super Street Podium out here from Hastings. Going to start things off. Third place on the day, Sean Hoffman. Man, what a race it was. Why don't you take us through things from your point of view?
I got a kind of a crappy start and tried to chase down these two, but had to get through Carl first. So by that time, they were long gone. I wasn't catching them. So just rode my own race, and it was fun. First time out. Never road raced in my life, but here we are.
Hey, you got the smile on your face. That means you were having fun, right?
Yes, sir.
Hey, well, I know nobody does this by themselves. Who do you need to thank for taking you out here going racing?
Big thanks to Joe at Suburban for actually letting me go racing, because he lost a technician after this one. And Legend Suspension, Bridgestone Tires, Galaxy Coatings, Alloy Art was a big help, and fueling was a huge help too. And Mom and Dad, thanks for letting me do this and chase my dreams.
There you go, guys. One more time, a round of applause. Sean Hoffman finishing third on the day. We're going to head over. Chris Rivas here grabbing second. We saw you out there multiple times. Looked like multiple bikes as well, but this kind of kicked off the day of racing. What did you think out here at round one?
It was awesome, man. So much fun to be able to race this. I saw the Super Street class had been created, and I knew it was for a budget guy, and that's kind of me. So I went on the eBay, and I started looking around, and I found a chassis that was totaled out and wrecked on eBay. I bought it for $1,200. Started doing all the work myself. I put some of my parts in there from Rocket Performance Garage, you know, cams and pistons and some stuff like that, and got all the little special sauce in there. It's truly a junkyard dog. I mean, it's an affordable bike that you could build for about $5,000 to come out here and race these guys. And looking at these two beautiful machines, I know they got probably a little bit more than $5,000 into them, but I'm feeling really good because it's the first time out on a brand new build, and it did awesome.
Hey, absolutely, man. It sounds like a great time. Now, besides eBay, I'm sure you got some great people helping you out, man. Who do you need to thank?
Yeah, so my business, obviously, Rocket Performance Garage. We do all the high-performance stuff for twin cams and Milwaukee 8s. Real special personal shout out to Daryl Bassani. We lost him this year, and he makes the most incredible exhaust systems. I've got a special custom Bassani exhaust on this. The guys from S&S Cycle are performance partners of mine. Barnett Clutches, which sponsors the series, they're a performance partner of mine. So those guys for sure we got to thank. And my wife, of course, for traveling with me and putting up with all my junk.
One more time, guys. Give them a round of applause. Second on the day and in the center of the box. Masters, the class, man, you're up on the top of the field. And, man, that was pretty impressive performance. You made quick work of it. Take us through how you were feeling out there.
Yeah, it was good. I was stoked to be out there. I'm stoked to be riding the bagger. Thanks to Joe and the whole team that makes this happen. It was good fun out there. I could spend all day out riding there. But yeah, it feels really nice to be on the bike, and thanks to all the boys coming out and racing. Yeah, having a ball.
Hey, absolutely, man. Well, I can see on the suit you got a lot of people helping you out besides just the crew. Who do you need to give a shout out to, and who do you need to thank for going all the way from Australia, man? You're one of the international riders out here. Talk about that, and who else you got to shout out?
Yeah, thanks to Rob that got me over here to do this. It's not something I thought I'd ever do, but yeah, I definitely love it. Thanks to Joe at Suburban, Performance Machine, Shark Leathers that got me dressed up in these. So many people go behind the scenes to help this out, and I can't thank everyone enough.
There you go, guys. One more time, that's your winner, Jake Masters. And one more time, a round of applause for the entire Barnett crew here. And looks like Paula Fox is going to be passing out the awards once again. We'll get the shots, get the photos for all the social media, let everybody know exactly how much fun we're having out here at BRL. Come on, guys. Nobody wants to smile for a quiet crowd. One more time, a round of applause.
All right, our next podium is the 811 Nebraska lightweight superbike class. This is your podium. Let's talk with our third place finisher, Arch York, finishing on the Supermoto. Very impressive ride on the Supermoto. It was an exciting race to watch. Tell us how it went.
Oh, thank you, Alan. I had a blast. I was able to race against these awesome guys out here and get a tow from a couple. Got a tow from awesome teammates. Real quick, I'd like to give a thanks to Underground Team Racing, Nebraska 811, Missouri 811, and Kansas 811. Make sure you call before you dig. And I'd like to thank my dad and my mom.
Right on. Put your hands together for Arch. Great ride. Our second place finisher, Scott Short. Scott, how'd that race go for you?
It was fun. It was a lot of fun passing. I look forward to tomorrow and hopefully improve a little bit, hold down to Brett. It was a good time.
Right on. Anybody you want to thank?
I'd like to first off say Motorcycle Supply They provide us with everything. And then Leroy Enterprises, that's my own business. I paint bikes in the winter, so we make bad decisions look pretty. Install 5. So.
Right on. We'll put your hands together for Scott. All right, and our number 1 finisher, Brett Folkerts, in the lightweight superbike class. Scott, that was an impressive ride. Tell us how it went.
Yeah, we had a good start and got up to the front pretty quick, and then just kind of tried not to make any mistakes and let these guys catch back up. So, no, with the wind, it was a little whatever, but no, it's absolutely awesome to see all these people here. I'm sure it's the biggest crowd Hastings has had in a long time, so it's super cool to see.
Right on. Anybody you need to thank before we take photos?
Yeah, Motorcycle Supply, Bill and them coming out, super appreciative. And then Scott, he works on my bikes and paints them, makes them look pretty. And his wife, Sarah, is always helping us out. So those guys are the best. Mm-hmm.
Right on. We'll put your hands together for your podium finishers for the 811 Nebraska lightweight superbike class. One more time, guys. Put your hands together.
All right, so coming up next, we're going to have our Air-Cooled Twins podium. So Air-Cooled Twins coming up next. Going to have Chris Rivas back up with Jake McGuire. Going to chat it up with them. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together. This is your Air-Cooled Twins podium here from round number 1. Better hear some clapping, some hooting and hollering. That's what I'm talking about. All right, going to start things off second place on the day. Jake McGuire there. Man, what a race it was. Why don't you take us through things from your perspective?
I'm just happy to be here, man. No idea what I'm doing. Got my license yesterday, managed to keep it on the track. It was a good time.
Hey, talk about how cool of an experience that is. Obviously, like you said, first time out on a racetrack like that. You did our school yesterday, right? Did you had the mock race last night as well, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, it was a good time. Learned a lot. It's been an experience all around. It's awesome watching these fast guys run around trying to chase them down.
Hey, absolutely, and I'm sure the confidence probably growing with every lap around the track. Are you excited for the racing tomorrow?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, well, I mean, you finished second today. There's only one spot to go up from there, right?
I'm just kind of here as a formality, but yeah, it's cool.
Hey, absolutely, man. Well, I'm sure you got some great people helping you out. Who do you need to thank?
Yeah, absolutely. Harley Davidson Bowling Green, Grim Reapers Motorcycle Club, Galfer and RC Components helped me out, Easy Cheesy Pizza and A1 Lawn Care, and most importantly, my wife Elena and my beautiful daughter Violet.
There you go, guys. One more time. Make a little bit of noise. Second place on the day, Jake McGuire. And we're going to chat it over. Chris, man of many motorcycles. Hey, look, turns out you're fast on all of them, man. Multiple times up on the podium. Talk about how hard it is going from one bike to another, or maybe it's not, because clearly it seems like you know what you're doing on all of them.
Well, the bagger's a handful for sure, so that's always been a struggle, but I've been riding baggers for over 30 years, so that's kind of my little sweet spot. And then this little red rocket right here, it's a completely stock Buell XB12, and it just is made, literally made from the factory to be able to do track days in these kind of races. So this is kind of the one that I get to just go for it, and I don't have to worry about the bagger wobble or none of that stuff. But I tell you what, this weekend, what's really helped me out is a bunch of help from my buddy Brandon with Michelin helping out. And, you know, the Michelin tires have really held up really good all weekend, and it surprised me how stable they were out on the track. But other than that, I mean, it's me and my wife coming out, traveling and racing the little red rocket, and having fun with my brand, Rocket Performance Garage. And holy cow, first place. That was awesome.
There it is, guys. One more time, make a little noise for your winner, Chris Rivas, getting the job done in your air-cooled twins class. All right, and coming up next, we're going to hear from our Liquid Twins class. Liquid Twins coming up next.
All right, we're going to talk with our winner of the DP Brakes Liquid Twins class, Andrew Berkeley. Andrew, an impressive ride on the KTM out there. Tell us how it went from the seat of the bike.
It was a ride out there. This bike's a blast to ride. Got the whole shot, but the bagger was on the outside of me and beat me through too, but he had a mechanical and had to pull off. The bike's a fun ride. I was getting it blowing around a little bit out there. There's not much for wind coverage on this bike, but I had a really great time racing with the Bagger Racing League. This is my first time coming out and racing with them, and honestly, very, very thankful to be out here and doing it. This is a great turnout. The live footage and the video all day has been amazing. I can go back and watch that and share that with all my friends and all my sponsors. It's amazing.
Right on. Well, anybody you need to thank?
Absolutely. Underground Team Racing with Art Shork here. Then Nebraska 811, Kansas 811, Missouri 811, Bees Moto Lab, Schmidt Law Firm, GFEA, and RFP.
Right on. We'll put your hands together for the DP Brakes Liquid Twins winner, Andrew Berkeley. Congratulations. Our next podium celebration is the 811 Next Gen Superbike class. Next Gen Superbike.
All right, I believe we got the bike set up. Guys, go ahead and step up on that podium. And ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the Nebraska 811 Next Gen Superbike class. James Hansen, James Milroy, and Catherine Bukowski, your podium. Going to start things out over here on the far side. Catherine grabbing third on the day. And, man, what a race it was. First of all, how are you feeling? What's it like to be out here BRL racing?
Well, I'm very happy to be here. I didn't realize until close to deadline that we had a sport bike class, so I was like, might as well come. I love being at this track. So.
And this is a home track for you, is that correct?
I've been here before, yeah.
Do you feel like that played an advantage?
A little bit. Like this, I haven't ridden this bike very much, really, and it's a difficult track for this bike, but it was getting along pretty well. I'm pretty good at starting, but I need to work on my confidence in maintaining the speed and passing. But I'm a very new racer anyway, so.
Hey, absolutely. A solid podium performance. Got to feel good about that one, right?
Yep, you got it.
For sure. Well, I'm sure you got some great people helping you out. Who do you need to thank?
Well, first and foremost, my husband for humoring me, and he drives me around all over the place and is kind of helps me out a lot with my mechanical needs and helping me get on and off my very tall bike.
There you go. All right, one more time, guys. Put your hands together. Catherine Bukowski rounding out your podium. Going to head over and chat with James Milroy, finishing second on the day. James, let's. I see you're all casualed out, man. All right, you took the leathers off. I don't blame you. It's a great day out here. You finished second on the day. How did you feel about your race?
It was a good race. I got a great start, and halfway through, this guy passed me, and there it is.
Absolutely. Sometimes that's all she wrote, but you hang on for a solid podium finish. That means you get an opportunity to pass him tomorrow, right?
I'm going to work on it.
There we go. That's the plan. All right. Well, I'm sure you got some great people helping you out. Who do you need to thank for going racing?
I got Joe Wolf here helping as pit crew today, and my wife and boy who aren't here, they're at a baseball tournament in Omaha. They watched it on YouTube. My wife congratulated me after the race, and she watched it all live.
That's awesome, guys. Well, one more time, put your hands together. Second on the day, James Milroy. And it feels good to get a win. But it's a good thing to not know you got the win and find out the last second. Jamie Hansen, man, the center of the box. How cool was that to find out just a second ago?
Pretty awesome.
Hey, absolutely, man. Well, you earned it. Like you said, you put in a great fight. You made the pass about halfway through the race. How were you feeling out there? And take us through your race.
I'm feeling good. Yeah, I'm loving it today.
Hey, absolutely, man. When you're having fun, you're going fast. It pays off for you. Who do you want to thank for grabbing the win out here?
I want to thank LM Tube, Trackside Labs, DP Brakes, Michelin, A Affordable Barrel Bonds, Pub Onion, and some of my friends at home, Rob, Jolene, Roland, Joe, and Mom and Dad, and everyone else that helped me with all this.
There it is, guys. One more time. Put your hands together. That is your Nebraska 811 Next Gen Superbike podium here from round one. Paula Foss going to be passing out the hardware. Middleweight Superbike coming up next. Middleweight Superbike coming up next.
Okay, put your hands together for the 811 Nebraska Middleweight Superbike Podium finishers. Congratulations, guys. I'm going to jump in and grab a word with our third place finisher, Kira. This was one of the most exciting races of the day. Give us your perspective, and congratulations on that third place.
Thank you very much. It was not my best riding, but it was still a really good time to get out there, and it was feeling really good on those Michelin tires, and just really great job from the rest of the competitors too for making it happen out there. It was a really good job.
Yeah, you say it wasn't the best ride. What changes are you going to make for tomorrow?
I've been doing a little bit of changes here and there with my ergonomics, and we did a little bit of suspension changing and everything, but I got a new rear tire on it, and I'm just going to get out there and throw down as best I can.
Right on. We'll put your hands together for our third place finisher. Make our way around, talk to second place here. Our second place finisher, number 911, Jamie Hansen. Jamie, a couple of podiums for you today. Good day for you. Tell us how it feels. Second podium on the day. How you feeling today?
Good. Are you sure I didn't get first? No.
We can protest that.
Yeah.
No, but how was it out there battling with these guys?
It was awesome. Yeah. I just wish my bike was a little faster than his.
Well, horsepower is king, right? Congratulations to Jamie Hansen on second place finish. Put your hands together. All right, and our first place finisher, Chris Hazemeyer. Chris, a very impressive ride. You got checked out. Tell us how it went out there.
Yeah, just got the whole shot and kind of rode some defensive lines and just kind of rode it home from there. Had a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Just got to give a big shout out to the whole Underground Team Racing, Kansas 811, Call Before You Dig, Nebraska 811, Missouri 811, Michelin tires. They were good. Yeah.
Well, right on. We'll put your hands together for our podium finishers for the 811 Nebraska middleweight superbike class.
A huge congratulations to our middleweight class. All right, we got one more podium to go. Unlimited Superbike coming up next. Unlimited Superbike podium coming up next. Red Folkert's grabbing the win. Brian Haig second, and Chris Hazemeyer rounding out the podium. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together. This is your Unlimited Superbike podium here from round one. A great job from all three of our racers. Going to start things off third on the day, Chris Hazemeyer. And this was probably one of my favorite races of the entire day, an all-out battle, especially for that second place spot. Chris, you came up just a little bit short of second, but man, oh man, was it a battle. Take us through things from your point of view.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I didn't get the best start, kind of just worked my way back up through, and I got close a bunch of times, and just couldn't quite make it happen. So try again tomorrow, I suppose. Just got to give another big shout out to the team, Underground Team Racing, Call 811 Before You Dig, Nebraska 811, my mom, my dad, Olathe Suzuki, Michelin Tires. They were doing good, and I'm excited for tomorrow. Congrats to these guys, too.
There you go, Hazemeyer coming to out swinging tomorrow. Going to head over to the far side of the podium. Brian Haig, man, I got to ask you, exit turn 13, you're wide open. The front end comes up. I didn't see the throttle crack at all, but how scary was that for you?
The front end always comes up on that bike. You just got to get used to it. It's one of those things.
It just got that much power, right?
That's right. Yep.
Hey, well, you were able to handle the power, man. Like I said, an absolute battle between yourself and Hasemeyer. It's an extremely defensive ride on your end. How did you feel about your performance, and what are you thinking about BRL?
BRL's great. MPH is great. This facility and this race has been a joy to come out and do. I know Hayes well from previous races. This was nothing new. We kind of knew we were going to battle before we went out there, and I was glad I was able to hold him off.
Hey, absolutely. You guys put on one heck of a show. I'm sure you got some great people in your corner. Who do you need to thank?
Premier Tree Professionals Omaha for helping me come out here, MPH, the whole staff, and the BRL organization. I appreciate it.
There you go, guys. One more time, put your hands together. Brian Haig there finishing second, and Brett Folkert's here in the center of the box. Man, we said it on the broadcast. It must be a good day if you're out front and the announcers aren't really talking about you that much, because you got one heck of a gap out in front of you. Smooth sailing, but I'm sure you had to work for it, man. Take us through your race.
Yeah, I had start behind Brian here and then trying to pass a little bit bigger of a bike. But once it got past him, then it was relatively easy sailing. The track was in perfect shape. And give a huge shout out to the Hastings crew here. They kept the track in great shape all day and always been good to us out here.
Absolutely, man. Well, I'm sure you got some great sponsors of your own, man. Who do you need to thank?
Sure. Again, Motorcycle Supply and Scott and Sarah Short with Leroy Enterprises. And KTM Kramer.
There you go, guys. One more time, put your hands together. Your unlimited superbike podium. Brett Folker's there grabbing the win. Brian Haig and Chris Hasemeyer rounding out the podium. Paula Fox passing out the hardware. And the crowd goes wild one more time as they take the photos. That's what I'm talking about. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to wrap up day one. The 2024 Drag Specialties Battle of the Bagger racing season is officially underway. We're going to sign off here on YouTube, and we'll see you guys tomorrow afternoon for round 2 of racing out here from Hastings, Nebraska.